Alright, hello Tube Dwellers, welcome to the Mabinogi Duel livestream. Me and Samurai Quack. Smiles and giggles, heyo. Evil Bart, it's nearly morning, 11 PM, yes, another hour and a bit. Mist is playing porn, so I possibly shouldn't reveal that I know what those initials stand for, but okay, you do you. Kirito, hello, hello. We have the home page up today because I can't help but feel that the Duel live screen kind of summarizes quite well the current Mabinogi Duel meta. Leek, hello. Smiles and giggles, it's 9 PM where you are. It's 2 PM where I am. UTC +1. So as always, we'll start out with opening some booster packs, as many as we possibly can, and then we will get into the established tournament rules for next weekend's tournament, and then we'll jump into some battles. Yes, music's too loud, is it? Fair enough, we'll turn that down a bit. Let me know if that's better. Powered by Gentlemen, hello. Oh, we'll just turn that down to there. There we go. Alright, so let me know if the music's still too loud or not. Okay, pulling some boosters. You make me feel so good, except when I don't pull anything fun. Maybe do I need to lower the game volume or raise your mic just a tad? Well, I certainly don't want to raise my mic. The gain would be out of control. But yeah, so I've just lowered the volume thing in OBS. So let me know if that's better. If it's not, I'll lower it a little bit more.
Purchased the booster.
Alright. Don't know why I keep checking these things. Did I have Puss in Boots before? I mean, it's not like he's a good card, but I had it. Evil Bart, literally nothing changed. Well, I'll lower it even further, but I'm telling you, it's definitely changing. It's dropped from negative 12 decibels to negative 30 decibels. So, and I can see the gain bar there. So, the Wolf, hello, welcome. Kadir's count gold +1. Yay! Pointless. But hey, might be useful for selling to a a collector.
Purchased the booster.
Music is making you deaf. It's like it's set to 11. It's better now. I'll turn it all the way down. There should be no real change in the music. So I don't know why it's suddenly so loud for everybody, but yeah, now it's at negative 35 decibels. So cute baby bad. Yeah, I think we've basically gotten our only bonus card that we're going to get today, and it was a useless mutant. Wah wah. Yep, nothing.
Purchased the booster.
Yeah, post-house system, didn't have too many of those, so meh, extras, nice. You never know what cards are going to get buffed or suddenly become meta viable, so it's nice to have a whole bunch of extras. Okay, so yeah, we got a mutant. It wasn't a good one, but whatever. Leek, it was fine before the latest time you changed the volume, I think. You were fine at negative 30. Well, negative 35 shouldn't be a massive difference. So, let's see, did we get any gem gifts? We did. Okay, so 3 gems, which, whatever. It's better than nothing. So that's something to give away during the sub-battles. The Wolf, why are you the only one that covers this game? It's so good. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. There are other people who make the occasional YouTube video. Pegasus does, and I know that some other people have done a couple of videos. But yeah, I don't know why I'm the only one who actually covers it like this. Okay. What are we doing? Yes, alright. Oh, yeah. I was wondering where my gem gift has gone. I forgot you have to go in the message, and then there's the ticket, and then back into the message. Don't know why they have tickets. Seems pointless, but hey. Alright, good. So we have some 3 gem gifts to give away for the sub-battles. Oh, well. Minimoves, turn that music down. You're making you deaf. Jesus, it's at negative 35 decibels. Here's negative 43. If anybody else complains about the volume, that's tough on them. I'm looking at the green bar. It's like this, people. Leech, anyone here played Metro Redux? 6 years and pure. Yep, played all the Metros. They're really good. I'm really looking forward to the next one coming out. It's already really low. Yeah, I know. I dropped it down to 4. Okay, I'm going to keep it at my negative 40 decibels. It's barely blipping on OBS. So if it's too loud for you, then I don't know what to tell you guys. get a better sound card. I mean, it's coming through multiple sound channels, so I don't know. If your sound card's particularly borked, is maybe messing it up? I have no idea. Think he's trolling? Possibly. Kalpesh, yo, welcome, welcome. What are we doing? Oh, yes, we are going to... You think you'll get it? Yes, definitely play the Metro games. I mean, I don't know how well necessarily they stand up today. If you're really into, you know, Call of Duty and all of the latest, you know, Battlefield games and stuff like that, then Metro's obviously going to feel very, very dated. But if you can get past the old graphics and the slightly clunky old style controls, it's definitely worth playing. Really, really atmospheric. Okay. Alright, so we have enough people around here, I think, to go over the rules. So, first things first, the rules that were under debate. The Fenny ban and the no duplicates rule. So, the Fenny ban got 16 votes to ban Fenny to 5 votes against, which is a 76% vote to ban. And the no duplicates rule got an 18 votes to 5, which is a 78% pass rate. So, both of those rules will pass. There will be no Fenny allowed in the tournament, and there will be no duplicates allowed in the tournament. Arya, hello. Leash, you like the style of the game? Good. You've bought you one trying to don't wanna JSuck, you think the music is too loud, scaring your cat. I don't know what to tell you, it's barely making a blip on the thing. If I turn it down anymore, nobody's gonna be able to hear anything. Cool, you won't find you online anymore for a while. Got a gruesome reminder of why I quit in the first place. 53 losses in a row. Yeah, I'm going to assume mostly the gimmicks. Is Duel of Summoners the same as Mabinogi? Is one better than the other? Duel of Summoners is better balanced than the Mabinogi Duel. It's the better game, but nobody plays it, unfortunately, so wait times for fights are like 30 minutes, sometimes longer. So Duel of Summoners is a better game, but you're not going to be able to find any fights on it. It's really unfortunate. Okay, so tournament stuff. First up, before we go any further. Number 1, tournament will take place next weekend on the 21st and 22nd. That's Saturday and Sunday, 21st and 22nd of this month. The tournament will begin at 1 p.m. UTC, Universal Time Code, okay? So make sure, if you're a participant, that you've looked up when 1 p.m. UTC is for your particular time zone. Are you just going to be here for the tournament rules? Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, that's when the tournament is going to be held. Next up, the tournament rules. The Wolf, how do you enter the tournament? You don't. The sign-ups were last week. Well, beginning of this week, really. India has a very bad internet connection. The entirety of India? I thought they were doing very well for technological advancement these days. Missed Arc, a level 1 5-star unit can kill a level 40 5-star unit in Fire Emblem Heroes. Fascinating. I don't play Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay, anyway, back onto the rule set. So, rule number 1, only cards from the Cat Merchant shop will be allowed, so no mutants, no 5-star cards, no collaboration cards. However, special edition variants of Cat Shop cards will be allowed. So, if you have the special edition variant of Lorna, for example, you can use that Lorna. Number 2, you will have 1 deck of 12 cards and 6 cards in your sideboard. That means extra cards. In between battles, you are allowed to switch out and in as many of those cards as you like. So you basically have 18 cards to play from. Before you get into a battle, you have to create a 12-card deck out of those 18 cards. Number 3, gimmick decks will, of course, not be allowed because this is an Arcadean stream. Combo decks are acceptable. If you're not sure what the difference is, then get in touch in the Discord and we'll let you know. Or privately send me your deck and I will let you know whether or not it classifies as a gimmick or a combo. Rule number 4, there is a Fene ban. You are not allowed to use the Fene hero. You can use any other hero in the game, that's all fine, but you cannot use Fene. The players have decided that her ability kind of randomizes skill a little bit too much. The other person, you know, the opponent can play significantly better and can still lose if Fene's ability activates like 6 or 7 times in a row, as it has done in the past. And number 5, and finally, no duplicates rule. So that means you cannot run any card that has exactly the same stats and effects as any other card. So triple Goblin Bomb Squad, not allowed. Goblin Bomb Squad and Fiery Zealot, not allowed. Elf and Elephant, not allowed. And obviously mutants aren't allowed, so that's in the original rules. So those are the 5 rules currently going in. Only cards from the Cat Merchant, 12 cards in your deck plus 6 in your sideboard, no gimmicks, no Fenny Hero, and no duplicates. Let's see, and yes, once again, the tournament will be held next weekend, 21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday of this month. Okay, so in exactly 8 days will be the first day of the tournament. Saturday we will have the qualifiers and the semi-finals, and Sunday we will have the qualifiers and the quarterfinals, and then Sunday we'll have the semi-finals and finals. I played a normal duel to get 16 gems, and that at least wasn't a gimmick leak. Lucky. Missed what day is the tournament? I've just mentioned that. Kengi, when do you register your tournament decks? You will have to register your decks with me on Discord before, let's say, 1 p.m. UTC on Wednesday. Definitely on Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday the 18th. Wednesday the 18th will be the deadline for registering tournament decks. Nix, hello. The Wolf wins the next tournament next weekend. Evil Bard, wait, how many decks? I know 6 extra cards, but how many decks? One deck. One deck of 12 cards plus 6 extra cards in your sideboard. Arya, you have a question. Yes, what is your question? Whew. Need some arc juice. My computer's making weird noises. Evil Bard, can you check my deck to see if it's allowed? Yes. You will have to register your deck and your 6 sideboard cards with me before the end of Wednesday the 18th. But you can send me your decks at any point before then for either registering or for checking. In fact, I mean, the reason why Wednesday is the deadline is just in case somebody sends their deck to me late on Wednesday, and I have to say no, there's some cards in there that aren't acceptable because of this, that, or the other thing, and blah blah blah, and then we need to change a whole thing. I don't want to do that like the day before the tournament begins. But yes, I will check everybody's deck, and you will have to register your deck with me personally. The Wolf, you must learn the secret of the arc juice. No one knows the secret of the arc juice. Arya, so it's like this. Swamp Vampire and Vampire have the same ability, but not the same stat. Does that count as a duplicate? I thought that Swamp Vampire and Vampire did have the same ability, did have the same stats. But if you say not, then no, that doesn't count as a duplicate. In order for it to be a duplicate, it has to have exactly the same stats, exactly the same effect. It's basically a reprint. People know what the word duplicate is. I really don't know why this is the rule that everybody is constantly seeking clarification of. It's a duplicate. Everybody knows the definition of the word duplicate. So just no duplicates. If Swamp Vampire and Vampire are not duplicates, then they can both be allowed in the same deck. Miss Zero, are EXE cards, I assume you mean EXT cards allowed? To which I will point you back to Rule 1. Only cat shop cards are allowed. Evil Bard, it's not the same stat, just ability. Fair enough. I don't know why it was in my head that they had exactly the same stats, but if they don't have the same stats, then they're obviously not a duplicate, so they are allowed. Lee, just curious, Hidden Spider and Swamp Hidden Spider, they're just a little bit different, are they? Oh yeah, I think Swamp Hidden Spider comes with defense, doesn't it? And Hidden Spider doesn't. Again, not a duplicate. So you can use those two in your deck if you really want to. We're just making a rule against duplicates because in tournament, well, not in tournament, but in tournament testing where we've allowed duplicate cards, what we've found is that it leads to an extremely control-heavy meta. So people would pack, you know, 2 magic missiles, 2 surprise attacks, 2 hunts, and they would basically just use that to control the battlefield and then bring out 1 or 2 large creatures at the very end. It wasn't necessarily the most effective, although, you know, the balance skewed towards it being more effective than tempo. But the major downside to it was that it meant that matches took like 10 or 15 minutes to get through, which is exhausting for people watching, it's exhausting for me hosting, and it means that the qualifiers and the quarterfinals take like 4 or 5 hours to get through. So, yeah. Cowpesh, please read rules in Discord. Yeah, the rules are posted in the tournament talk. I will be rewriting them slightly to clarify that Fene is now banned and duplicates are now banned right after this live stream. But yes, the rules will be pinned in the tournament talk room in my Discord channel. Dranicus, sup? Arya, it's because vampire is 10 HP, while damp vampire, which I know you mean swamp, but I really like the idea of a damp vampire now, has 8 and 2 defense. Ah, okay, fair enough. So it's basically the same as the swamp hidden spider. It goes for defense rather than health. Yeah, it's not a duplicate, so it's allowed. Aaron, you missed registration. Yes, you did. We filled up remarkably quickly. We had the registration last Friday, I think it was. Or was it Monday? Either way, and the slots for the tournament were filled up within like 12 hours. It was fast. Drownicus, you prefer moist vampire. Naughty. Zohib, hey, oh, am I late? No, you're only 17 minutes late. We've just been discussing the new tournament rules. So, as I say, the tournament rules will be slightly rewritten just for clarification and will be reposted in the Discord. But if anybody has any further questions about the tournament, now is the time to ask them. So let me know if you need any clarification or anything, or if I have forgotten to mention anything. In the meantime, let's all look at the suspicious peddler. Why are some of his teeth longer than others? MHMH, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. I will jump, Evil Bard, I will log in my account, I'll be right back. Okay, fair enough. Alright, while I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to ask any further questions about the tournament, we'll just jump into a quick fight. I won't really pay attention to the fight, I'll be paying attention to the chat. So yeah, if you have any... Why is my chair making so much noise? If you have any questions about the tournament, ask him now. Arya, where do we post our decks? You do not post your decks. You do not let other people see your deck, not unless you want to. You send your deck to me in a private message, in a direct message through Discord. And it has to be through Discord. Okay, don't send them to me through Line or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. Please send them to me through Discord. I cannot check like 18 different social media sites. One mutant. And yes, to be clear to everybody once again, you have to register your deck with me before the end of Wednesday the 18th. You can register a deck with me and then change your mind later. That's also fine. I can't decide what I want. Yeah, screw it. Leak, by the way, how does the double Dragon's Guardian deck going? I have been somewhat distracted by the tournament setup stuff, but I am working with it. Currently, I'm running it in a Fabicia deck just to see how that works. It's working pretty well, but I think I need to make some adjustments to it. You know what, we'll level up and we'll just let that go. Opponent leveled up to 2.
Powerful creature arrived.
Really sleepy again today. Don't know why. The weather keeps changing, I think. It's hot and it's cold and it's hot and it's cold. And I'm just like, blah. Praveen, hello and welcome. What was that? Discard into what? Darkness? I wasn't paying attention. Probably darkness. Lee, how does the DG doing? Yes. How is the DG doing? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Arya, you have an idea. Well, it's from your friend, actually. All right, what's your friend's idea?
Opponent's turn. Opponent accumulated resource.
Oh, cool, warlords.
The creature has come out.
That's awesome. I want to say happy, but I can't because she goes just as I predicted when you say happy. Yeah, we'll let that go through. There's a Mukro ready to go out onto her, but I really need to build up the resources first. I really hope it's a Warlords deck. I really hope it's a Turkish Arca deck. I would be almost willing to just forfeit and give them the win, just because they'd be running Warlords. Okay, that's fine. That's a lot of removal spells they've used, so we're pretty good here. He said that he would join this tournament if the tournament consisted of 24 players, and in the end there will be a lower bracket for the blood. Yeah, what he wants is a professional level tournament, and it's not workable. We've tried it before, or we looked into it before. We ran an experiment, and it doesn't work when you don't have enough people and enough tech organizing it. The tournament's too large, so it goes on for too long. It becomes a nightmare to organize. Same sort of thing with the losers bracket. Big problems with just the time factor of it. We need to host the tournament over the weekend because that's the only time everybody's guaranteed to be able to make time for the tournament. And if you have 24 players and a losers bracket, you literally can't fit that into a weekend. So the more people will join. And honestly, we're not really that interested in having more people join. It's nice to have a lot of people involved, obviously, but it's not a necessity. Ooh, they've messed that up. That works out very well for us. Hidden spider, that's fine. Do I care? And do I care? And I don't think I do. So let's drop that there. Yeah, we don't care about that. Oh, and they're forfeited. That's fine. The Wolf. Hey, Ark, is there a way to make a good deck out of some of the basic cards to counter the more powerful cards? Yes. The deck that I'm running right now is pretty basic in terms of card construction, and I've won 95% of my games with it. I've gone up against the Lilith and I've won. I've gone up against King of Prophets and I've won. I've gone up against Fabicia and I've won. So yeah, budget decks can do very well. I'll show you this deck and then I'll show you the other one that actually does very well as well, which is even more budget. The downside to it is that both of the budget decks use Mana Vampire +1, and it's not like super hyper crucial. You can replace it with a Undine, but I really like the Mana Vampire +1. It's highly disruptive. Still, that's the deck there that I'm running right now, which is, as you can see, everything except for the Mana Vampire you can buy from the Cat Merchant. Except for the Mukro, I guess, but just use Amantur's Blue Spell Circle. It's exactly the same thing. And then the other one is this one. This one's a bit more of a control deck, but also does very well. Again, replace Mukro Algesco with Amantur's Blue Spell Circle. The Wolf, what's the best way to deal with Beastskins? Because I have a lot of trouble with them. There are only really 3 Beastkin that you need to worry about, and that's Jurgen, Jane, and Dark Beastkin Mino +1. The other Beastkins are aggressive. Pardon me. They are aggressive, and they can look very, very scary, but they're not that big of a deal. Fortunately, all the Beastkins can basically be answered with exactly the same card/card combo, which is... And you can get both of the cards from the cat shop. So, the first card is... this one. So that's the first card that you're going to need to counter every single Beastkin in the game, Amantur's Blue Spell Circle, and then the second card you're going to want is Violet. So the idea is that if it's something like Jurgen or Dark Mino, what you can do is you can play Piolet in front of them and then cast Amantur's Blue Spell Circle onto the Piolet. That transforms the Beastkin into a frozen creature. Piolet's ability activates at the end of the turn and he jumps right back into your hand. So you've countered like an 8-cost card for 3 or 4 cost for the Amantur's Blue Spell Circle, because Piolet replenishes his own resources when he comes right back into the hand. So that's just the ideal combo. It's a really good combo for basically anything that has an ability that prevents it from dying, or that has some sort of on-death related ability. Amantur's Blue Spell Circle and Piolet. Now, in the case of Jane, you can't play Piolet first and then Amantur's Blue Spell Circle, so you need to cast the Amantur's Blue Spell Circle onto something that is closer to Jane than any other creature, so that Jane still gets frozen. Then you can play Piolet in front of Jane. But that's the best way of dealing with the beasts. Leech, mana +1 vampires around 150,000, by the way, so that's quite reasonable. That shouldn't be too difficult to get a hold of. Praveen, Beastmaster Klaus is the best. Yeah, Beastmaster Klaus is a lot of fun. Evil Bard, Arc, you ruin everything. Leech, you know you can access catch up from your friends list, right? Just talk to the cat. Yeah, for some reason, every time I talk to the cat, whenever I want to do a test battle with him, I always accidentally click on visit the cat shop, and every time I want to visit the cat shop, I accidentally click on request friendly duel. I don't know why. So I just come in here. Arya, should I be bold and post my tournament deck on YouTube and be awarded the name the man with the most balls? Sure. I mean, here's the thing about Mabinogi Duel. Even if your opponent... And it's kind of the same thing with all trading card games. There is a psychological trick to be used here, and there's one that I use. Whenever I've ever entered a tournament, be it for Mabinogi Duel or any other card game, I actually always do let my opponent know what deck I'm running. Because, 2 reasons. One, generally it doesn't really make that much of a difference, all right? Most of the time your opponent can more or less anticipate, and even if they can anticipate, generally speaking, there's, you know, it'll be very difficult for them to counter your deck if your deck doesn't have like one particular finisher creature that it relies on, like Lilith. Number 2, you can play a very interesting psychological game. If your opponent knows what cards you are, they will try to play to counter those cards, but you will know that they will be trying to play to counter those cards, so you can deliberately play in an unusual way in order to completely throw them off. So there's some fun psychological tricks to be had there. So you can post your deck if you want, but only if you really want to like play some psychological games. The Wolf, got it? Yep, my pleasure. Rice and Pie, you're late. I know, shame on you. Okay, well, it seems like nobody has any more questions about the tournament, which is great. To go a little bit Welsh. So, I'm going to get the post-it note. And yeah, not that one, this one. Okay, and we will open up the sub battles. So if anybody would like to sub battle, you will get 3 gems. Basically, the first 4 people to sign up for sub battles will be given 3 gems. I wish it was more, but I don't have any more of these gift things that I can give away, unfortunately. So the first 4 people to sign up will get 3 gems as a gift. Ari's going to post a deck. Kalpesh, I'm on. I think you mean I'm in. So, okay, there we go. So that's Kengi versus somebody. SWAT AK-47, if you're running a rush deck and they have some crazy AoE shit, you're just going to get stomped. Doesn't make sense to post your decks. Yeah, if you're running rush, but rush almost always relies on duplicates, and there's no duplicates in the tournament, so... Rush is workable in the tournament, but tricky. Smiles and Giggles, okay. Smiles and Giggles. All right, so Kengi and Smiles and Giggles, please add each other as friends. Kirito versus Evil Bart. Okay, Praveen. Now, to be clear, this is not tournament sub-battle. This is just a standard sub-battle. The Wolf, what's the best way to earn cards? With packs or cat shop? Cat shop is the best way because, obviously, that way you know what you're getting. But combo them both because they use different things. Use your gems to buy boosters. Sell your mutants and your 5-star cards and your EXT cards in the player store in order to get gold. Sell the extra cards that you don't need from the booster pack to the card appraiser to get more gold, and then use all of that gold to either buy from the player store if it's a mutant or a 5-star or an EXT that you're looking for, or use the gold to buy from the cat shop. So just combo around. SWAT, you, okie dokie, go versus Praveen. Evil Bard, can we use our tournament deck? You can, but I wouldn't advise it necessarily. Smiles and Giggles, oh god, this was a terrible idea. You're fighting Kengi. Yes, Arya has posted their deck code. Okay, Praveen, Kengi battle you, please. No, Praveen, you're fighting SWAT. You can fight Kengi maybe in the second round. SWAT, yes, you're fighting Praveen, you're in. You're always going to open packs anyway, yep. Unless, of course, you're saving your gems to seal the card when you buy it from the player store. But with special tickets, that's not really a good idea these days. Do we start now? Hold on a second. Hold on. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but just give me 1 second. Okay, so just so that everybody knows, first fight is Kengi versus Smiles and Giggles. Fight number 2, Kirito Marksman versus Evil Bart. Fight number 3, Praveen versus SWAT. Now you can start. Smiles and Giggles versus Kengi. When you are ready, please begin. SWAT, your IGN is Karma5. Who are you against? You are against Praveen. Whew. Okay, so I see Kengi there, so we will just wait until the transition notifier comes up. There we go, transitioning. There we are, alright. Wolf, you shall return. I'll be back. Okay, get to the chopper. Okay, so Pluto is blue up at the top. 1 mutant neutral hero, 3 colors. Kengi down the bottom with, of course, L, 2 mutants and 3 colors. An aggressive skeleton opening by Pluto is blue. Could be answered by a magic missile. And it is. Down goes that skeleton. Dear God, it's starting! Cries Pluto. Nyx, solo deck from Cat Shop for sub battles. No sub battles, any deck, but no gimmicks. No gimmicks, of course. Crusader comes out on Pluto's blue side and answered with a hunt, of course, of course. Kengi now ready to level up. Pluto is blue, deciding to charge rather than play another creature. Shipwreck Spirits comes out from Kengi's side, an unusually aggressive play. Let's see if Pluto's blue decides to answer that or go instead for level up. Goes for a level up. Kengi, of course, going to follow suit. No reason not to. And that's 6 damage coming out onto Pluto's blue side. So both players doing well for resources and HP. Let's see what Pluto's blue decides to do about these Shipwrecked Spirits. Brings out a Hellhound, which is a very nice answer to them. I was just about to say if Pluto had a Hellhound, that would have been a good play, and they did, and it was. Evil Bar, can we use any deck? No rule. No rule except no gimmicks. No gimmicks. As in all of my live streams, no gimmicks allowed. Kengi's Fireball takes care of that Hellhound, and he discards into nature. So it could be an Ambush Vine, could be a Hidden Spider, could be Cocoon Trap. Could also be Mist or something like Sacrosanctity, but since we never see those, it's not worth playing or trying to play around them generally. It was Ambush Vine, comes out in front of that Black Spirit. Depending on how well the Ambush Vine gets through that defense will determine whether or not it beats the Black Spirit out. Arya, you're off now. Okay, night to night. Thanks for stopping by. Nyx, add you for sub battle. Okie dokie. Nyx Stalker. There we go. Okay, an aggressive skeleton from Kengi, putting the pressure onto Pluto is blue. The defense didn't drop at all off that Ambush Vine's attack, really, just 1 defense drop, so that's looking pretty good for Pluto. An aggressive Crusader, not going to try to bother blocking the skeleton, just going to go for the aggro play, force Kengi to react rather than act. And Ice Spear comes out, taking care of both the Black Spirit and the Crusader. Ouch. So that's going to be 10 damage, taking Pluto's blue down to 16 HP. Pluto's turn, a lot of mana in there. Not much light, a decent amount of darkness. So let's see what they decide to go for. Flame Barrier, which is very unusual. Normally for AoEs in mana, obviously we see Firewall rather than Flame Barrier, but cool. Hidden Spider comes out. We've seen Ambush Vine and Hidden Spider, so Yes. Okay, and the skeleton comes out in order to block that spider, which is always difficult. It's always tricky blocking a creature with no defense capabilities. So Kengi might go to remove that with a hunt or something, or may decide to just let it go by. Let's see what he decides to do. Is a discard into nature and then a couple of charges. Fair enough. So he's just going to let the hidden spider die, which is fair enough. And good. Praveen and Swat have added each other. Excellent. Kirito and Evil Bart. I hope you guys have added each other as friends. So double charge from Pluto. Are we going to see another aggressive play? We are. Fireball comes out. Okay. Resummons the hidden spider into a different location, but that actually works out pretty well for Pluto. If it had landed in front of the skeleton, it would have been ideal, because then that would have been a big resource drain from Kengi for no real value there. Okay, so an aggressive play into Phantom of the Wolf and the Hidden Spider. That's 7 damage. So that's fatal damage is now on the board on Kengi's side. Can Pluto answer that? With a lot of light and a decent amount of darkness, it's definitely within the realms of possibility. So let's see how this goes. Surprise attack coming out onto the Phantom of the Wolf, which brings out a second Hidden Spider. So this is, yes, this is a big kind of trap aggro deck here. A charge from Pluto is blue. Really needs to do something to block or kill, ideally one of those. Can't do it, unfortunately, and those two hidden spiders together are going to land. Fatal damage onto Pluto is blue. Well played on both sides there, and a very interesting deck coming out from Kengi. Trap-based aggro, which is something you don't generally see very often. Lands a finishing blow, but managed to take Kengi down to 18, so well played on Pluto's side. Alright, so let's see. It's Kengi versus Smiles and Giggles. Let's give them both their gem rewards. A gift from Mr. Roo, thank you very much, I appreciate it. And a friend request from Karma. I will add you in just a second once I've handed out these gifts. So, where were we? Pluto is blue. And, yes, thank you. And Kengi. There we go. Why were there so many spiders? God damn, I don't know. Hope nobody was arachnophobic. Okay, let's scroll all the way down here. Okay, here we go. We'll get rid of Pixard, 15 days, not active. Delete from friend list, so I apologize if you're watching and you want to be re-added, add me again. But the rule is, if somebody sends me a friend request during the live stream, I will add you, guaranteed. If you send a friend request to me outside of live stream, I probably won't. I have like 30 people waiting to be added. Alright, so next up is Kirito Marksman versus Evil Bart. When you guys are ready, please let me know, and then get to fighting-s. Kirito is online. I don't see Evil Bart online. Kalpesh, I was just wandering around with that deck. Just playing around, I think you've been playing around with that deck. That's definitely an interesting one. I missed. Will there ever be another RPG Maker stream? Probably, yeah. I'll have a vote in the Discord and see how many people are interested. Okay, looks like Evil Bart and Kirito are beginning their battle, so let's jump in and take a look. Alright, Evil Bart up at the top with an unusual hero. Whenever a friendly creature attacks the enemy hero, random enemy creature suffers 1 damage. Yep, okay, so it's basically the Mari skill. So, decreases starting HP by 4, which means Evil Bart is running 1 mutant, and Kirito also running 1 mutant. Both players running 3 colors as well, so... An aggressive Crusader right out the gate, so Kirito can answer that with a Paralyzing Bullet or a Magic Missile, or failing those, a Hunt. Goes instead for an Imp block, which is interesting because that's not going to actually kill the Crusader. Given that it gets 1 HP and 1 defense, it turns itself into an effective 4 HP creature. Holy Missile comes out onto that Imp, so Evil Bart just wants to start out with some nice damage there. Very good. How will Kirito decide to answer this? Paralyzing Bullet is, of course, no longer a possibility. He decides to go for a charge, so assuming he doesn't have Magic Missile, which is unusual in a mana deck, in a deck that runs mana, but let's see what he's got in there instead. using the Skuld hero as well, which I've just noticed, which is my favorite hero aesthetically speaking. Alright, so that Crusader really does need to be answered. A discard into nature, which is interesting. So we, of course, always anticipate Ambush Find first, and if not Ambush Find, then Hidden Spider, and if not Hidden Spider, then Cocoon Trap. After that, if it's none of those three things, then it could be Mist, or it could be something weird like Sacrosanctity, or even the Phoenix Renji, I think is the name of it. The trap card that... if it is a trap card. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if it is a trap card or not. Anyway, Evil Bart's thinking about what he wants to do on his turn. There we go. Okay, an aggressive skeleton, and out comes the Ambush Vine. Alright, so the skeleton is level 2, the ambush vine is level 1, so Evil Bard can pretty much just leave that alone, and the skeleton will survive the ambush vine, of course, and deal fatal damage to it, especially with that extra damage ability coming out off the Crusader. Kirito levels up to 2, Evil Bard is 2/3 of the way up to level 3, so pile driving ahead, and that Crusader just continues to generate HP and attack value. It's now an equivalent 610. So Evil Bard can just keep on charging up, doesn't need to play anything else. He definitely has battlefield control at this point. Kirito really needs to remove that Crusader before it can charge up any further, but of course anything at this point would be a negative resource trade. Lychee comes along, kills the enemy creature, deals a little bit of damage to that Crusader, taking it down to 7 effective HP. And leaving the ambush vine free to do 2 damage. However, Kirito is down at 10. The Crusader is going to be 7 attack value next turn, and if Evil Bard has an Arrow of Revenge, it could just be game over immediately. Okay, good. There goes the hunt, down goes the Crusader. Alright, so an expensive removal. That's a 3 cost to remove a 1 cost creature, but that absolutely needed to be done. Windblade Taeon comes out. That's going to be in front of the Lychee, of course. That's going to deal damage and shunt over to the left. Hunter Piole comes out in front of the Ambush Vine, which is going to kill it. Throw it back into the grave, but Kirito doesn't have the nature necessary to resummon it, so Evil Bard doesn't need to fear plopping down any more creatures. Bravine, where's my opponent? He's not online. I don't know. So, Windblade Taeon out onto the field. Same problem as before. Evil Bart can do fatal damage. If he throws if he does have an Arrow of Revenge, throw out the Arrow of Revenge before leveling up, and then level up, and then Taeon will land the finishing blow. Ironically, if you level up first, it won't. Tsubaki comes out, not in front of the Windblade Taeon. Going to play it a little bit more aggressively than that. Now, she takes a little time to charge up to really get going, though. So, oh, that's a problem. I think Kirito forgot that Taeon moves to the left. So if Evil Bard has an Arrow of Revenge, throwing it out now will land fatal damage onto Kirito. Kengi, if SWAT's not online, then Kengi will fight Praveen. Kirito says, good job. SWAT is online. Good. Okay. So let's see. Does Evil Bard have an Arrow of Revenge is the question. In a dark resource deck, you kind of assume it, and there it goes. 5 damage and the Windblade Taeon. Now, you had to play that at level 2, because if you'd played it at level 3, its trigger ability wouldn't have activated. It would only have done 3 damage, not 4, or not the necessary 4. But played at level 2, and his trigger does activate, and it deals 5 damage. So, congratulations to Evil Bard for the victory, and well played to Kirito Marksman. Both you guys get 3 whole gems. I know. Such generosity. Much wow. Alright, where are we? Kirito, and thank you, Tina. Evil Bard. Okay, that's all of the gem gifts that I had. Unfortunately, I've not been getting very lucky with getting those from the booster packs and things, but we do what we can. So, next up is Praveen versus SWAT. Kirito, I had that paralyzing bullet, but forgot about it. Yeah, it happens. Praveen, I am going to use my worst deck. Alright, you do you, buddy. We'll just wait until you guys have transferred into your fight. Praveen versus SWAT. How's the music volume now, by the way? Go Perveen, says Kalpesh. Not sure. My opponent's not online. Yeah, he is. I can see him. Karma. Can't see you online. There we go. Translating over. Wow, that transition is taking a while, isn't it? Still orange, still orange, still orange. There we go, okay. Alright, so Praveen up at the top with the Fene hero and 3 mutants. Karma down at the bottom with the Bonoba hero, cute as a button, and 2 mutants. Both players, of course, running 3 colors, and both of them running exactly the same 3 colors. So cool. Michael, when do you think new season cards will be released? They will be, if my theory is correct, they're going to be released as soon as, like about 2 weeks to a month after Duel of Summoners gets the SFN booster pack update. I suspect that Mabinogi Duel is not going to get another booster pack until Duel of Summoners is caught up, which is stupid, but hey. So, aggressive elf, aggressive skeleton, and an aggressive Kadir's flying sword. Both players here just kind of ignoring each other's creatures and really playing aggressively here. Magic Missile comes out, dark Magic Missile to be precise, and that takes care of the skeleton. So, that is one of Praveen's mutants revealed. Out comes the Golden Eagle, and that will, of course, deal enough damage to take care of the Flying Sword. The elf continues to chip away at Praveen's health. He can choose to answer these 2 creatures or level up. He's going to level up and just take that damage. I Love Natsuki is now following. Thank you so much, I Love Natsuki. So he's just going to take that 7 damage. It's going to take him down to 15 HP, which is pretty low. Let's see if he can pull back from this. With enough mana and nature in there, it's fine. HP hit, thanks to the Bonoba Darkness charge, and out comes Hunter Piole onto the Golden Eagle. So the elf is going to continue to chip away, as it does. But that was a free answer to the Golden Eagle. It did, of course, manage to get its attack value off, though, so that was still worth it for Karma. Praveen slightly leading in terms of resources, but Karma with battlefield control. Out comes a Nature Phantom of the Mermaid to supercharge up that elf, and a +1 mana Magic Sensing Bomb, which means that Praveen cannot cast a removal spell now without killing himself, basically. Okay, he's going to go for the capture. Onto what? Onto the Phantom. Okay, alright, Phantom of the Mermaid, but still needs to answer that elf. Very, very expensive capture there. Magician Mask Field coming out in front of the elf as a block, and the Assistant Ana coming out on the far right-hand side. So that opens Praveen's side of the field up to an AoE wipe, but Karma may not have the necessary resources. That was a strong commit with the Phantom of the Mermaid and the Magic Sensing Bomb. Of course, he does have Darkness resources, so if he happens to have an Arrow of Revenge, which he does, let's see if Praveen's ability activates. It does not, and down goes Praveen. A very quick fight there. Well played to Praveen, and congratulations to Karma. Well fought on both players' sides there. Very, very aggressive deck. And a Nature Phantom of the Mermaid. I've seen a lot of Nature Phantom of the Wolves, but I think that's possibly the first Nature Phantom of the Mermaid I've seen. Okay, well played to both players there. Unfortunately, I have no more gem gifts to give away, so... bah. Right. Does anybody else want to get involved with the sub-battles? Nick Stalker is still written down, but we have nobody here to fight him. So if anybody would like to fight Nix or anybody else, please comment in the chat box. I'm actually going to quickly switch back to this one. There we go. Okay. And of course, if anybody would like to fight me, just send me a battle request. Kalpesh, you next. Okay, well, you versus Nix then. Alright, so Nick Stalker versus Kingy. You guys definitely have each other headed as friends. Praveen, didn't expect that bomb. Yeah, the Magic Sensing Bomb +1 is one of my favorite sneaky cards, actually, in the game. It's a lot of fun. Alright, so Kengi versus Nick Stalker. Nick Stalker, when you're ready, go online and then get to fighting. In the meantime, let's see if the live duel has changed away from Lilith v Lilith. Yes, it has. Haha. Praveen, yes, just after Kengi and Nick Stalker. I noticed Nick Stalker just came online. So as soon as they've had their fight, if you still want to fight me, you can challenge me after we spectated this. Just waiting on Kengi and Nyx to get to fighting. Both players are rank 1, as observant viewers will have noticed, so they both know what they're doing. They both have excellent decks. Let's see who emerges victorious if they ever start fighting. Leak, I have too many good cards. I can't decide on decks anymore. Ah, that's the ideal. Praveen, Kengi is going to win. Odds of 1 to 10. I actually have no idea how to read odds, so I don't know whether you're giving Kengi good odds or bad odds there. Alright, here we go. Let's actually, we followed Kengi last time, so let's spectate on Nyx's side this time. Kengi up at the top, 2 mutants, L hero. Nyx down at the bottom, 3 mutants and the L hero. So let's see. Discard into nature. So again, you assume ambush vine, failing that hidden spider, failing that cocoon trap, failing that something weird like mist. And it was the ambush vine. The light elf, of course, is a decent counter to the ambush vine, but Nyx can just use a hunt to remove that elf and deal some early game damage if he chooses to. Failing that, he could play another creature aggressively in order to force Kengi to respond to something. Goes for a discard into mana. So that's interesting. Counter summon, counter spell, freeze summon. Not usually something you... None of those things you would generally expect to be dropped at the very beginning of the match. But Nyx, of course, is a veteran player. He knows what he's doing. So let's see what the plan is here. Praveen, Kengi and Nyx Stalker are your, your students, are they? You are mentor to the legends. Okay, out comes the Goblin Shredder, and that doesn't quite kill the Nata, but the Nata is going to kill that Goblin Shredder, so irony of ironies. Nyx Stalker levels up to 2, taking quick advantage there, and thanks to Nata's ability, the elf goes down. I mean, the elf was going to go down anyway, but that Goblin Shredder certainly didn't help. Nata continues to charge up. That's going to be a solid 8 damage there coming out from Nyx Stalker's side. He can just do a double charge here. No reason to play anything else onto the field. In fact, there's very good reasons not to play anything else out onto the field. You really don't want to give any more creature targets to a potential AoE from Kengi. SWAT, can I battle the Arcadean? Are you asking, can you battle me, or just can you battle in general? Out comes a counterspell, deals with that holy missile. Not a great resource trade there for Nyx Stalker, unfortunately, and the Nata does go down for free to the to the PLA. Out comes the newbie duelist. PLA, of course, can come out again and take care of that ambush vine. So a charge up from Nyx Stalker, and he's ready to level up. Forest Fire comes out instead. That's going to be a nice little counter there. Puts the ambush vine back into the grave though, so Kengi needs to be aware if he drops a creature, it's going to be snagged by the ambush vine. So the Golden Garden Cat is going to die before it can do anything, unless Kengi decides to remove it. Well, I guess killed anyway. Evil Bard, what if I made a deck full of spider and 1 normal creatures? It would not do well, but okay. Swap me after this maybe. Yeah, I think Praveen wanted to challenge me, but yes, that would also be fine. Surprise attack comes out, and a nature rather fiery zealot. Interesting to remove it, given that now it's a free removal onto that fiery zealot. Will Nyx go for a charge? No, he goes for an aggressive play. Light elephant, it's good. I had more than enough light resources there, so I'm gonna put the pressure on. And another discard into mana. Berk, first time watching stream. If you can, take a look at your decks. Yep, I'll take a look right after this fight. Just remind me. So, Kengi levels up. Both players are now at level 3. Kengi's got a lot of resources here ready to go. Decides to drop an elephant, a leopard rather, in front of the elephant. Now, that can be removed, but it depends on whether or not Nick Stalker thinks that it's worthwhile. He does. Out comes the light command hunting, and probably another double charge here. Praveen, I will be fighting first against the Arcadians. Yeah, fine. So Praveen can fight me first, and then Swat can fight me. Yep, there goes the charge, and the elephant continues to chip away at Kengi's HP. So both players doing pretty well for resources. A big revival there from Kengi, taking him within fatal range of the elephant. The fiery zealot comes out. If Nyx has a capture or something, this will be game right here. A discard into mana. Are we going to see a Mukro and a removal spell for fatal? No removal spell for fatal. Just going to leave that elephant out onto the field. Okay, well that opens this. Yep, the Kengi for the surprise attack. Swat, Praveen's going to go stomp before you do. Hey, both of you guys could win against me. I'm going to be using the budget deck that I've already demonstrated, and I'll show it again before the fight. Battle Force Nada is really a pain in the ass. He can be, yeah. Out comes that elephant again, and a discard into light. So setting up perhaps the light command hunting so that you can remove any creature that's played in front of the elephant. Possible. We haven't seen Nyx's 2 most expensive cards yet, so there's definitely still the possibility for a capture in there. Out comes the command hunting. That's going to take care of that elephant. Both players just really struggling for position here. Now, Nyx could play something highly aggressively, doesn't need to kill these things. Goes to kill the garden cat, I assume because he doesn't want the extra light generation. Discards into light. And brings out Dragon Hunter Fry of all creatures. Interesting, interesting. Swat, well that's why I have Command Hunting, yeah. That's why most people run Command Hunting. It's a really good card. So let's see. Now, will Fry's ability... No, Fry's ability only deals 2. So Fry's ability alone isn't enough to deal fatal damage to Kengi at this point. But, let's see. Kengi is in an awkward situation. He only has gold, really, that he can play. Goes for the Mud Hero Dras. Aggressive. Okay. And that's basically it. Kengi's going to have to do a double charge. He can't play anything else. He could discard, I suppose, which he decides to do. I was about to say, I'm not really sure why. Okay, so maybe saving up for another command hunting or something in case Fry can die here. Discard into mana. Another discard into mana. We're going to see a Fireball. No, a Mukro Algesco. There we go. So, Dragon Hunter Fry kills that Dras. Nice and cheap. Kengi slightly ahead in terms of resources, but only by 2. If he can't answer this Dragon Hunter Fry with his nature, then this is game. What the heck is this, says Praveen? This is a battle between 2 legends, is what this is, Praveen. Good job, says Kengi, and I think he's going to go for the triple charge, sportsmanlike finish. Maybe yes, maybe no. Is he charged into something that he can now use? No, he has not. Okay, there's a triple the sportsmanlike triple charge finish. Let's see if Nick Stalker also goes for a sportsmanlike triple charge finish. Charge, charge, and charge. There we go. Sportsmanlike on both sides. So, congratulations to Nick Stalker, and well played to Kengi. Some very, very interesting plays on both sides there. And yes, to anyone who is curious, that's what a battle between 2 professionals looks like. Stuff happening below the scenes that the likes of you and I, we mere mortals, can but barely comprehend. Excellent, very good. And a gift from Rivensteel, thank you very much, I appreciate that. More gems means more cards, means more videos. We've got enough just for a booster poll, so let's take a look. Praveen, these legends are my good students, Praveen. Excellent. Well, you'd better have a really good showing then, hadn't you? Just to show your students how they should be fighting. All right, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah, and no, whoopsie daisy, no bonus. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so we will scribble that off. If anybody else wants to get involved in sub battles, please leave your in-game name in the chat box below. Failing that, Praveen, I think, wants to fight me. This is the deck that I'm going to be using for all of my fights today. So Praveen can fight me. if he still wants to. Failing that, SWAT can fight me if they still want to. But sub-battles are more interesting. People can see me fight anytime during the videos and things like that. Are you ready? I am, yes. People can see me fight anytime during the videos. I like the sub-battles because it shows off decks and playstyles that I will never show off simply because, you know, I can't play in that particular playstyle, or I can't play with those particular cards because I don't have them, you know. So it's a greater variety of playstyles and deck styles in the sub-battles. I like it. Kirito wants to battle again. Okay, I will write you down. Kirito. Evil Bart, you want to fight again as well? Okay, so Kirito versus Evil Bart. Oh, and yes, somebody wanted me to look at their decks. So after this fight, I forget who it was now, but please remind me. Okay, an aggressive duelist. I don't have any immediate answers to that, so we'll just ignore it. Leek, you should really start buying other boosters, even if you have everything, because those sacred animals like Veda are really annoying to get all the time. True enough. True enough. Burke, it was you. Okay, good. Remind me after this. I apologize. I meant to take a look right after the other fight, but I completely forgot. Evil Bart, why again? I just versus... No, I'm saying you're fighting again, and this time it's versus Kirito. Now, do we want to be super weird about this? Yeah, we've already taken some damage, so let's take the lead in HP.
No creature left on the enemy's battlefield.
Hunter Piole.
Opponent chose to charge the
Pioretto.
lost a creature. No creature left on your battlefield.
Why is my computer making weird buzzing noises? It's freaking me out. Samurai Quack, go and look! And he was never heard from again. I have never yet played a Regete and not had like a 30-second pause from my opponent. It's not always the best play to make, but I just love playing Regete at level 2. Just for the inevitable 30 seconds of, huh. It occurs to me, Goblin Shredder. Interesting choice. Goodbye forever. Yes, it occurs to me that I didn't talk about sort of the rewards for the tournament. Now, we've looked into the concept of donating stuff, but I've done the calculations, and it looks like it's going to be a big pain in the butt. So, I have a secondary idea for the tournament rewards. What's going to happen is we're going to have... oh, cool. Varum. Does a little bit of damage, which works out nicely for me. Okay, so that worked out very well, actually. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do? There's so many choices here. Let's do this. And... do we want to do that? That's going to be 10. That'll be 2, 6. Yeah, we do. We want to do that. Leech, I have this concept of having Bestial Fruit used with Gumiho and Dark +1 Mino, as well as with Hero's Command and Amantur's Blue Spell Circle, but ARG. Well, I mean, the Bestial Fruit won't affect Gumiho, will it? Because it only affects Beastkin. Unless the idea is to cast it onto Gumiho while there's a Beastkin on the field. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure exactly how that all works these days. Okay, we'll just stick with that for now. Just want to gain as much of a resource advantage as possible. That Varum Kahan can be killed anytime. I got his name right. I never get his name right. It does. What? Bestial Fruit actually affects Gumiho. Interesting. I did not know. I mean, it says... I thought that it only affected beasts. Maybe a bug. Maybe Gumiho counts as a beast. Beastkin, I mean. Interesting. Oh no, yeah, okay, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, when targeted by a spell, Gumiho's ability. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Unless you mean to cast it onto the cast it onto Gumiho to activate her ability. Doesn't affect her, she just transforms being targeted. Yeah, that's what I figured. The thing is, with Dark +1 Mino, you don't actually need to transform him with the Bestial Fruit, though, because he's +1, his ability will automatically activate. So yeah, I'm not sure the Bestial Fruit's necessary, honestly. But yes, Amantur's Blue Spell Circle is really nice with Gumiho. It's basically a Piolet kind of thing. Was that a discard into? No, discard into green. I am a-okay with that. Let's go a bit of aggro here. Just like hypnotized creatures can be turned back with it, yes. What, with Bestial Fruit, yeah. It's a shame there isn't some sort of beneficial AoE that specifically, targets these things, but Gumiho with Amantur is just insta good game, the most broken combo ever faced. No, it really isn't. It's the standard Gumiho combo, but I've gone up 6 or 7 Gumihos. They've all used it, of course, because of course they have. I've never actually lost to a Gumiho. Not once. It's a good card, but it is remarkably easily countered. If you're going up against a player who is not like really super smart about them, how to play it. Because everybody wants to transform her immediately. And her transformed state does not meet HP breakpoints. Leak, but if I use a Mino on level 2 and need to kill something immediately for one reason or another, and I mostly play event arenas anyway, well, fair enough. If you're just playing event arenas, then yeah, basically anything's operational. That's fine. Hey, Bojechini. Swat, well, what is the most broken combo in your opinion? Basically, there's like 2 Lilith combos that are stupidly broken. Lilith is basically just the dominant card right now. There's a whole bunch of things we could do here. So let's do this. And this. I'm just spoiled for choice, really. Nereva. Yeah, one of them is the Nereva combo. Basically, it's the triple card appraiser into like the standard Lilith plus, whatever. And then there's also the standard Gates of Hell, double Lilith, double Nereva, and so on and so forth. I mean, basically Lilith can be plugged into 2 or 3 different combos that make her impossible to beat unless you're running specifically some form of Lilith counter. That makes her really, really irritating. Okay, I hunt onto the Skeleton Knight, which is fine, don't care. Mark, I'm late to the stream. What booster did you recommend? Go for whichever booster has the 5-star cards that you want. And then kills their own creatures, that's fine. A lot of choices here. I'm going to do this. Mark, I like Apocalypse Unbeaten Lilith. Yep, that's another combination. That constant irritating res murder thing. Leek haven't had much motivation to stay in the top 10 lately since I already have Gumiho. Yeah, fair enough. Evil Bart, what about Revival with Angels? The Atid Lilith Revival combo works well. Standard Revival combos aren't the best anymore. What's that? 3. What's that? 2. What do we? Let's see what we charge into, if anything. Nah, nothing good. SWAT. L is the only counter for these decks as far as I know, alongside a quick finish. Yeah. I mean, L's decent. The problem is with something like Lilith, it can be difficult even using L to counter. Because most people will discard one card, like, you know, one of their Liliths, and then they'll, on the second turn, they'll discard 2 more cards, Lilith and Nereva, and then cast the Gates of Hell. So they're still getting, you know, a big enough combo out onto the field. Oh boy. It's kind of dragging on a bit, this fight, isn't it? Getting a lot into nature.
Discarded into the grave. No creature left on the enemy's battlefield. Opponent charged additional resource. Opponent chose to charge resource. Charged additional resource. Charged additional resource.
Charged additional resource. Beric, what is Elle's full name? I actually don't know. She's from Mabinogi, so if anybody knows Mabinogi, then do let me know. Mark, do you have a Gumiho deck? I don't have Gumiho. Unfortunate, but there you go. So what, I removed the ambush vine from my deck ever since I battled a Regeta user. Have you seen how they interact? Yeah, ambush vines and Regetas, yeah, they don't get along too well. But I still use ambush vine a lot. It's really, really useful for a whole variety of situations. Now comes the Hellhound. It's fine. Piole, I assume. Yep. And then go for a charge so that I win, please. Thank you. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Now watch Fenny's ability go stupid. Oh, it does not. Ha ha! Good. Alright. I was expecting Fenny's ability to activate there, and then for the ambush vine to land another blow, and for Fenny's ability to activate again. I was like, arr, but it didn't. Hooray! So, well played to Praveen. Good job, good job. Okay, so, Berk, you had a couple of decks you wanted reviewing, just very quickly, before we jump into any more fights. Salsian, thank you very much for the gems. I appreciate it. Evil Bar, why didn't he kill it? Probably didn't have the resources to. It's the advantage of this deck that I run, that it forces removal, generally for more than the removal cost. And the Suspicious Peddler, of course, forces spell cards into the grave. So the grave cost tends to rack up really, really quickly on your opponent's deck when they go up against this deck. Mark, have you ever tried the Fenny Hero and the Fenny card? No, I don't think I ever tried the Fenny card beyond testing. Evil Bard, he had 7 gold. Yeah, but he had Forest Fire, which would have killed his own Hellhound, and I don't think he had any other gold removal. Not that any other gold removal would have worked anyway. because the only other one really is Flame Emission, and you wouldn't have Flame Emission and Forest Fire. And then there's Paralyzing Bullet, but the Ambush Vine wasn't paralyzed, so that wouldn't have done anything. So yes, so Burke's decks. Let's take a look. I'll switch over to the deck review deck, which is that one. I think it was that one. No, this is the deck review deck. That Hanjo deck was something I was looking at. You're so Conjuring Battle. Well, yeah, there's no reason getting worked up. It's just a game, right? So just have fun with it. That one did drag on a bit long. The deck that I'm using, the budget Rigette deck, it's not a great deck. So fights tend to last quite a while with it. You kind of have to attrition your opponent down. So tell me when you're ready for a fight. I will. Kengi is okay for another battle. That's all good. But first of all, I want to get Burke's thing. I'm waiting for him to repost. But in the meantime, okay, here we go. I'll just take a... I scrolled back up, so... 601 ECED. And the other one was, what? 601 EC92. 601 EC92. Okay. Alrighty, so kind of aggro-ish. Yep, doesn't seem to be any problems that I can see at first glance. Yep, I don't see anything wrong with that. If it's working for you, then great. Keep going with it, frankly. I'm not a big fan of Maester Nua, personally speaking. His ability to cancel targeted spells is not very useful in a meta that has command hunting and Amantur's blue spell circle and so on and so forth. So personally, I would remove Nua. He's way too expensive for too little value. Replace him with Battle Force Nata if you're going for a collaboration card. You could replace him with another low-cost creature to synergize well with the Phantom of the Wolf if you wanted to, something like that. But otherwise, yeah, very nicely structured deck. And then the second one is 601 EC92. And over right, Zad Felish deck I see. Okay, yeah, once again, I don't see any obvious issues with the deck. I would possibly swap the hunting for a command hunting so that you have some non-targeted spells in there. With the prevalence of cards that counteract targeted spells, it's always good to have at least one card in there that can counteract your opponents without targeting. So switch to hunt out for a command hunting would be my advice. But yeah, apart from that, if the deck is working for you, fantastic. Keep it as it is. Okay, now I'll scroll back down. Let me see. Leaf Gold has sadly very bad removals, apart from AoE, but I think it's good to not have those in every color. Yeah, Gold specializes in AoE removals over single target, although I do love Paralyzing Bullet. You've Bard, you're going to open a pack right now. Good luck. Nyx, Jur deck is considered gimmick. Yes, it is. Kanji, I can't pronounce your name, Gomenasai, but yes, I can review your deck. Let me just take a look now. 601 ECF3. Save. Materio deck. Good, okay. I like Materio. It's fun. Whoopsie daisy. Share instead. Just before we do this, just to quickly catch up with the chat. I swear if I get Gumiho, it's yours for this pack arc. Well, fingers crossed you get Gumiho then. Leech, worst thing in Noah is his hand. Nua is a dude. Yes, Nua is a dude. Everybody has 2 1-cost removals, which is fine. You often have multiple 1-cost removals. Holy Missile and Magic Missile are very, very common to see together. Okay, let's take a look. Alright, so 4 colors, well balanced, and that's good. I like your Light Crusader, Holy Missile, Surprise Attack, and Materio. That's all good. Nature, Command Hunting, Golden Eagle, and Capture are good. The Lorna, Nature +1. Normal is better than +1, but it's not the end of the world. Pop Days out, Felicia's good, Dark Eye Spear is good, Dread Pirate Nefer is not very good, and Vengeful Knife is not very good. Vengeful Knife is useful in an aggro deck, but only in an aggro deck, because it kills you. I would swap Vengeful Knife for a Suspicious Peddler or a Skeleton, and swap Dread Pirate Nefer for any number of things. Vampire would be okay, Arrow of Revenge would be very good. That would be nice in this deck. Yeah, personally I'd go for Arrow of Revenge. But Vampire would also be fine. Swamp Vampire would be fine. You could even go for more removal with a Dark Fireball. That would also be fine. But yeah, mostly okay. Just not the Vengeful Knife and not Dread Pirate Nefer. She's not very good. Burke, thanks so much. My pleasure. Evil Bard, down bonus is hard to get now. Yeah, it says it's 10%, but I have my doubts. Okay, so what the hell were we doing? Yes, SWAT. I got a Nature Phantom of the Mermaid recently. Nice. That's always good. Nature Phantom of the Wolf and Nature Phantom of the Mermaid. Very, very, very good cards. Especially, obviously, for aggro. Okay, let me switch back to this Frigate deck. God, it does drag on a while, doesn't it? I really should just create some nonsense decks to fight people with. Kanji name. Thanks. Doitashimashite. SWAT whenever you're... Okay, give me one give me 1 second. Evil Bard posting a deck code. After this one. 601 E90F. Alright. And Mark, I'll review yours after that, and Rice Empire after that. Okay, we're getting into a thing, I see. Alright, Evil Bard, another Susanoo deck. Lovely. Okay, looking at it, I like it. Initial reaction is good stuff. Yeah, it all looks fine to me. Yeah, that all looks okay. I would say that your cards aren't really synchronizing very well with Piolet, and that if you want to have a Cocoon Trap in there, consider switching Leopard out for a Goblin Shredder. Goblin Shredder is just really good in general, can help soften people up, but he synchronizes perfectly with Cocoon Trap. The Cocoon Trap snags the guy, then you play Goblin Shredder. You've removed their creature and put one out on the field at the same time. So consider that, would be one of my suggestions. You also have no transformation spells, which is a little tricky, so maybe consider dropping the Arrow of Revenge for an Amantur's Blue Spell Circle, just so that you have a deliberate transformation. But that's up to you. +1 Arrow of Revenge, not really so great. You want that to be as cheap as possible, but not so that it hurt. Basically, the normal version is best. But if you don't have a normal mana Arrow of Revenge, then and you really like the having it in the deck, then stick it in there. That's fine. But yes, consider switching the Leopard out for a Goblin Shredder so that it synchronizes better with the Cocoon Trap. And if you did have an Amateur's Blue Spell Circle in there somewhere, then that would obviously synchronize much nicer with Hunter Piolet. So yes, good. Mark. 601 EC F7. There we go. There's so many deck codes in there. Alrighty. Alright, and share. Calvesh Arc gets some ideas for tournament prizes. Yes, sorry, I got completely distracted. I'll do that. Next, play ranked. There's no point in me playing ranked on this account, unfortunately, because we'd have to start out in bronze. I don't like putting things into ranked because then I have to pay so much gold to change the cards so that I can test them, and then that's gold that I can't use to buy cards to make videos with. The arena sucks. Should just do it the way that literally every single other TCG does it. You can just jump into an arena and you can pick any freaking deck you want. Why do you have to register 3 of them? It's annoying. Just switch your 3 in and out whenever you want. We don't need a gold sync anymore. It's fine. Okay, anyway. Rant over. Mark. Alright, so first things first. Obviously it's an aggro deck, which is quite interesting. Which is why you've gone for Desert Fox over something like a Leopard, which makes sense. On a Skeleton, yep, that all looks fine to me. The double Phantom of the Wolf, I'm not sure if that's the best possible use of that. You might want to take the mana Phantom of the Wolf out and replace it with an AoE, an Ice Spear, just so that you can deal with any counter aggro or annoying blocks. But that's really up to you. If you find that you're getting a lot of distance out of double Phantom of the Wolf, then it's not a bad choice. It's just I think you're lacking an AoE, which can really be crucial for aggro decks. And finally, Arai Senpai. 601 E671. Overwrite and save. Evil Bard, who to change your Piole with? I wouldn't change Piole. Piole is good. Piole is always good in nature. But if you're worried about it not synchronizing with anything and you want to switch it out for something, then Battle Force Nat is obviously always a good choice. But I would keep Piole in. I would, in any case where you've got a deck and you've got Piole in it and Piole is not really synchronizing with any of your other cards, my instinct is always to change one of the other cards because Piole is phenomenal. So generally you're getting more value by changing one of your other cards than by removing Piole. And I will get on with this tournament prize in just a second. Arc Shredder is good. Will be added. Good. Bajetian tournament ban rules are no mutants, no Fene, no duplicates, and only cat merchant cards. Got that right? Yes, that's correct. Okay, so this is Rai Senpai's deck. Looking at it, initial reaction is I like it. You've got 3 single target removals, 1 AoE removal, a utility removal and Goblin Shredder, a defense removal and Goblin Bomb Squad, Arrow of Revenge, Paralyzer Allurin for gimmick cards, Crusader. Yeah. That looks good to me. If you're having trouble with cards like Gumiho, Lilith, Jane, Duchess Ebnacy, Amantur, cards like this, if you're having trouble with cards like that, then replace the mana Arrow of Revenge with Amantur's Blue Spell Circle for an untargeted removal. Or replace Surprise Attack with a light Command Hunting. But yeah, I like it. It's a good deck. Mark, thank you. You're welcome. Pajechini, thank you. No problem. No problem. Okay, so before we do anything else, yes, the tournament kind of prizes. Right, so I did the mathematics. I've been working on sort of the maths of it and the logistics of the whole thing, and having a donation system just really isn't going to work properly with the new trading law, well, not new for me, trading laws in Mabinogi Duel, where, you know, 5 of this and blah, blah, blah. So instead, here's the thing that we're going to do. Every tournament, we're going to try to hold regular tournaments, right? Every tournament's winner will be declared Legend. They will be given the title Legend, and this works retroactively. So Kengi and Vertsud, you guys already have the Legend title. Winners of the tournaments from this tournament onwards as well will be granted the Legend title. That will give them a unique title and color and role in the Discord, as well as a couple of other intangible benefits I'm kind of working out the details for in my head. And at the end of the year, we will have a Legends tournament. Battle of the Legends. Every single person who won a tournament in the past, who became a legend, will be automatically entered for the legendary tournament, if they want to be. Then we will make up the rest of the slots with seeded people who win a lottery or some sort of game of my devising, and then we will have a legendary tournament. The winner of the legendary tournament will win a real money prize, okay? I will give away an iTunes or a Play Store gift card, probably around $50, all right? So that's going to be the thing. We're going to have a sequence of tournaments. The winner will be named a legend, and they will automatically be given an invitational to the Legends tournament where they have a chance of winning real money. Evil Bar, can I also change my arrow with blue circle? Yes. Kalpesh, I still like glory. Yes, this is the honor and glory is the prize for this tournament. Sabrosona, damn, I'm too late. So you're pretty late, an hour and a half late. Bajejani, legend, people receive gems from all other players. That would be a tribute to a king. Yeah, that would be pretty... I mean, if anybody else wants to give the legends something in terms of like gem gifts and things like that, that obviously would also be awesome. But yes, they will be called legends, special color, special role on the Discord, as well as a couple of other intangible things I'm still figuring out. Maybe we'll have like a legends list that will be displayed somewhere on screen. So Yolk is now following. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Maybe we'll have like a legends list somewhere on screen that will appear, scroll over maybe during live streams. I'm not sure. We'll figure something out. Okay, so yes, that's the point of the tournament. That's the prizes. Honor and glory. Honor and glory. Okay. All right. So yes, now SWAT, if you want to fight me, feel free to send me a battle request. This is the deck that I'm using. Not great. I don't necessarily advise people copying this deck as it is if you have better cards to hand. But for people who are trying to run budget level decks, this one works out very well. And Undine can be put in instead of Vampire. Calpesh, still don't need real money. Just God or King will work. Fair enough. The Wolf, hey, do you play anything besides Mabinogi? I do. I play quite a few things. I play Monster Hunter World. I play that a lot. And then I play a few other TCGs. I got into the beta for Magic the Gathering Arena, which I'm really, really enjoying. And a bunch of other things. PS4, PC, 3DS. Everybody's opening with these bloody newbie duelists. So one of the few things that this deck just struggles with is early aggro. Evil Bar, do you have PS3? I had PS3, but God knows where it is now. It's up in the attic somewhere. Crusader, no remorse. Also on the Discord, I should mention that I have votes and I open things up. Ooh, this actually works out very well for me. Yeah, because my opponent either has to remove and forego the level up, or which they're doing, which is fine. Means I get the level up first. It was worth a try. What was I saying? Yes, on the Discord I have votes and things. And if anybody wants me to play any games in particular, that's also opened up. A bunch of choices here. Yeah, a bunch of choices here. I'm not really sure which one I want to go for. So, since it seems to be an aggro deck, let's drop Brigette. And yeah. My biggest question is why do you use the uglier Hunt? I like that Hunt more than the reprint of Hunt. Well played. Yeah, this deck struggles. This deck is tempo, so it struggles bad against aggro. Evil, you should play The Last of Us. Multiplayer is awesome. I used to be COD fan. Last of Us seems more realistic. Always hiding. I must admit, I like the multiplayer in The Last of Us, but I couldn't stand the game. I thought the game itself did not live up to its opening. Pajechny, I like the old Hunt 2. That Retardette Lion is nice, yes. Good old Retardette Lion. Yeah, aggro deck. Okay. The Wolf, what do you use to make your thumbnails? I use Photoshop, but then I do a lot of graphical work for a whole bunch of reasons, so always Photoshop. I wish I was using my control deck. This would be so much easier. Why you read it like that? Why I read what like what? Retardette? Because that's how Pajechny spelled it.
Reached level 3.
I mean, there's an obvious play to make here to win, so I'm going to assume that Karma's going to do it. That was the obvious play. Good, congratulations. Yeah, there's nothing really a tempo deck can do against a dedicated aggro, unfortunately. You need to run control against aggro. Cowpage, going to go get something to eat very quickly, fair enough. The Wolf, are you using your computer to play this right now? Yes, I'm running this on the Nox emulator. Oh, cool, I've unlocked a couple of Captain Xenovish. Nice. Good game, yes, good game, Swat. Well done. Alright, so if anybody else would like to challenge me to a fight or to a rematch, do let me know. Otherwise, if anybody would like to get involved in a sub-battle, do let me know. This is the deck, incidentally, that I'm working on for the next video. So I've been debating with myself whether or not I should be playing the decks I'm working on during the live streams or not, but this is what I've got so far. Evil Bard, me! I want to end you. Fair enough. Do you want to fight my budget deck, or do you want to fight this deck that I'm working on right now? Let me know. So, budget deck or experimental deck? I'm also mucking around with a Fabricia deck as well, but this one's not working out quite so well so far. Threw in Hero's Command as the test. That's not supposed to be in there permanently. I just wanted to see how well it worked in standard play. Nix, counter for that deck, making one. Anyway, as I say, Evil Bard, do you want me to run my budget deck or my experimental deck? Let me know and then send me a battle request. If anybody else wants to battle me, let me know. If anybody else has a deck that they would like reviewed and looked over, let me know. So what, that was my main ranked deck until recently? Yeah, I can see that. It's a solid aggro deck. Solid aggro. I do enjoy aggro. It's not really my play style. I play tempo as a general rule. But every so often, it can be a lot of fun to just jump in with an aggro deck. I mean, you either win by level 2 or you lose, and at least the fights are nice and quick. The Wolf, how are you so good at this game? Does it take practice, or are you just naturally good at TCGs? I'm not that good at the game. I'm good at the game, and I mean, I've gotten champion a few times, but I'm not the best player of the game. But yeah, I have been playing it. Okay. Evil Bard never told me what deck he wanted me to use, so I guess we'll just use this one. I've been playing it since the game was first released. Literally like the first week of release, I've been playing. The thing is, once you understand the intricacies of the game, it's you'll find your ability with it just skyrocketing very, very quickly. The game's... it's got a lot of systems that are kind of difficult to get your head around, but... once you do, you'll be able to create a whole bunch of decks, play very, very strongly. I mean, for example, in most games, you know, creatures, for example, might be, or in a lot of games, creatures might be the most important thing on the board. But and so that's what it is. It's about battlefield manipulation and battlefield control. And whilst that's true to a certain extent in Mabinogi Duel, the literally most important thing that you can possibly do in Mabinogi Duel is to manage your opponent's resources. If I could give a new player like one big piece of advice, it would be that: don't play for battlefield control, or do, but first of all, your priority must always be resource manipulation. Always try to play cards for less cost than your opponent removes them. Always watch your opponent's removal spells, then drop something large that they need to revive from the grave and throw more stuff out. If you can make your opponent waste their resources and waste their actions, you will win, even with a deck that doesn't have brilliant cards in it. A person with a bad deck, or an average deck, let's say, can beat a person with a great deck if they manipulate their opponent's resources properly. Okay. Leech has got a deck code, so we'll take a look at that in a bit. But just a nice top 10 arena daily starting from 6,000, not from 10,000. Less grind for Gumiho. Fair enough. What, did you get Gumiho from the arena? All right.
No creature left on your battlefield. Defeated opponent's creature.
Oh, cocoon trap. Interesting.
From the grave.
That's the deck you used against me. SWAT, okay, any suggestions? We'll take a look. I think it could be better with more expensive cards, but I don't have much of an idea what I should replace them with. Fair enough. But you actually need 2%, 2 packs. It's almost like a 3% chance on that. Yeah, okay, good luck with that.
Opponent accumulated resource.
I really should be paying more attention.
Your opponent recalled used cards.
Okay, that works out fine for me.
Reached level 3.
Yeah, that's all fine.
Additional resource. Opponent reached level 3.
The Wolf, okay, I'm decided the game I've been playing for almost a year and a half now. The only problem I have is making good decks that fit my playstyle, or rather are easy to use. Yes, that can be a tricky thing.
No creature left on your battlefield.
I mean, even veterans still struggle with that. You know, you create a deck that looks really good on paper and sort of like, theoretically this should work so well, and then just, nope, it doesn't.
Creature left on the enemy's battlefield. Opponent charged additional resource.
A lot of options here. Okay, I'm actually alright with that. Yeah, you know what, I'm actually okay with that. Partitionally, I was also, this is a problem with watching the chat while you're supposed to be fighting. I don't see discard and things. I was also wondering why there are so many Botanical Christies out there, and I see +1 is in pack. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the +1 Christies have always been irritatingly powerful.
Opponent charged additional resource.
Okay.
Recalled used cards from the grave.
I'm still in this, says Evil Bard. You are indeed.
Charged resource.
Nix, hard counter. Yeah, the cocoon trap's a pain in the butt, I'll admit. On the plus side, the more that it gets used, the more it's going to cost. Okay, so I did notice that discard that time.
Opponent accumulated resource.
May put a Lorna into this deck. Thinking about it. May be more valuable to me. The Wolf, what days do you usually live stream? Mondays and Fridays are always Mabinogi Duel live streams, and then Wednesdays I almost always live stream, and it'll be something random.
Opponent chose to charge resource. Opponent charged additional resource. Charged additional resource.
Okay, let's just use up some of those nature resources.
Cast from the grave. Opponent charged additional resource. Opponent accumulated resource. Defeated opponent's creature. Charged additional resource.
It's going to force a removal onto the cocoon, which means that Evil Bart will have spent, will have used 2 cards to remove 1 of mine.
On the enemy's battlefield.
The Wolf, you're one of my favorite YouTubers. It's sad that I don't have that. You don't know most of you just. Aw, thanks. I appreciate it. What can I say? Genius is never recognized in its time. Or something similarly stupid. All right. Susano. Good. Bad time. I was waiting for that. Okay, that was another discard. Goodbye forever, Susano. This is just going to take me a while, guys. I apologize.
Opponent accumulated resource. Opponent accumulated resource. Powerful creature summoned. Your turn.
What's that? 7, 9, 16. It's not quite there yet, is it? Bunch of options here. Not really sure what would be the best one to go for. Yeah, bunch of options. Actually, you know what? I haven't figured this one out yet with that.
Creature summoned.
Yeah, okay, so that does work. Good. Wasn't sure whether Anna activated on simply on death or on damage-based destruction. But no, activates on death. Good. Leak is just that he doesn't stream or make videos of extremely popular stuff, otherwise surely much more fame. Well, that or I would just get buried. Buried under the more popular people. The Wolf, the best battle usually take longer. True enough. True enough. Calvesh, lol, I'm just mad there are lots of people who should join stream, but because of lack of communication, this impacting game in every way. Okay. Vas, Ark has more personality than mostly any YouTuber out there. I love him, he'll go far, I can feel it. Aw, more hearts. Thank you, Nip Nip. Swad, well, Mabinogi Duel isn't in its best shape anyway, not really popular nowadays. Yeah, that is unfortunately true. There was a massive, massive hemorrhaging of players about 10 months ago. All the veterans left, the unofficial forum shut down. I left it for about 10 months. Yeah, they lost a lot of players and things. Removing, like, 25% of their content is just bizarre. Okay, I'm fine with that. Oh boy, okay, so just in case.
No creature left on your
Good.
Creature
There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Okay, Mark, I was one of them. Yeah, a lot of people left. A lot of people. Leek, if you streamed on Mixer in addition to YouTube and Twitch, something might happen. Fair enough. I mean, I'd use Restream, so I could sign up with a Mixer account. Okay, we can give it a try. Swad, what exactly was the update? I recently joined the game, but I left more than a year ago. Mark loved Rookie Arena. I know. Oh, I loved Rookie Arena so much. Oh, it's gone forever. I assume you mean the update that we're talking about that basically killed the game for most people. Basically, they stripped out the Rookie Arena, so no more PvG. They stripped out a couple of other things. They added this massive gold sink to them. They stripped out the 2-day PvP arena, replaced it with this monthly monstrosity that made it basically impossible for me to create videos where I could take the decks up into Platinum in order to test them out, and so on and so forth. And they stripped out a lot of content, added a lot of gold things, rejiggered the arenas in such a way as to make it as annoying as possible for people to have to deal with. Just wasn't great. Oh, that was an interesting play there. I like that play. What is that going to be? That's going to be 15 per turn. And I've got 11 coming out. Yeah, not this turn, but next turn. Okay. Yay, schooled. Yay for the healings. Cool. 3 nature charges, 3 extra HP. Interesting. Just going for the aggro play there, I think. Makes sense. Right, so what do we got? What do we got? Yeah, not quite enough for both of these, unfortunately. Only enough for one. So, let's just try to get lucky. That's not going to work, is it? Wow, wow. Can pull. Yeah, that didn't work anyway. Didn't get pulled into the right location. Ugh, well. Congratulations to Evil Bart. Yeah, I think this deck needs some Lorna in it, now that I'm looking at it. Leek, if only Skuld got a new skin. Yes, if only. If only. Alright, good. As I say, I was experimenting with this deck, running it through various trials, so that's one more trial. Leek Betrayal might have saved me. Yeah, Betrayal's a possibility. Thing is, I'm not really sure what I would replace Betrayal with. It would have to be either Forest Fire or Ifrit, and I do use them both in different situations. I also do use Holy Spear, but do I use it enough is the question. And Lorna doesn't really work so well next to the King of Prophets, so maybe a Betrayal would be a better idea instead of the Ifrit. I do use her sometimes. She's an excellent sort of blocker, damage dealer removal. So what, is it pronounced as leek or as a Dota? I think you're... are you asking me if it's pronounced Lich or Lich? Because it should be pronounced Lich. It comes from the old Germanic. Yeah, so maybe Lorna, although that doesn't work out so well next to the King of Prophets. Although, I mean, I barely use Holy Spear anyway, so it's not like I'm losing out on an awful lot of that sort of thing. And it would enable me to manipulate Grave Cost a little bit better. Arcade me. Potato, it's okay, Arc, it's your first loss after 1,000 wins. Not quite, no. But yes, I mean, as I say, this is a very experimental deck that I'm running here, so I do need to tweak it. I just need to decide how to tweak it. We'll see. It's a Dota... Yeah, I know that there's a Dota hero, but I don't know whether Dota pronounces it Lich or Lich. There's a lot... I mean, most Americans will pronounce it Lich. I don't know why. But it's technically supposed to be pronounced Lich. technically, you know, linguistically speaking. Leek, you're aware, but that's not the meaning of your name. Is the meaning of your name... Well, I mean, leek is a thing. It's like calling yourself Apple and then saying that it's actually pronounced pomegranate because my name doesn't mean the fruit. It's like, well, I don't care what it means. That's how it's pronounced. So what, more like a second loss? You got heavily countered early on stream by me. Yes, the aggro deck was a strong counter. Yeah, I'll come back to this. I'm not 100% convinced by that. But I'll need to tweak that for control play. What else can we muck around with? What else do I have running here? I have my old Puppeteer Zod Felice deck. I can try running that some more. CO Yulk, can I do a friendly match with you? Yes, absolutely. If you want to, we'll try this Zod Felice deck. That's a lot of fun. I'll come back to the what the hell's his name? King of Prophets, that's the one. I'll come back to the King of Prophets once I've tweaked it to be a little bit more control resistant. Gift from Elonisama, gift from Elonisama, gift from Elonisama. Thank you very much, Elonisama. I appreciate that. That's 23 gems. Lovely. So yeah, so York, send me a battle request. Anyway, number 17, Numsun, I will add you now. Scrolling all the way down, down, GZ 3000, away for 14 days, so I apologize, but you gotta be removed. Goodbye. I really wish Casanova's Mask hadn't been nerfed. That was my favorite card. Leek, one thing behind the meaning arc is there's a Pulsar star named Leek. Pulsar star, sorry, named Leek. Yes, well, again, the word Leek already existed. So if you're going to call a Pulsar star A-P-P-L-E, it's pronounced apple. Any suggestions? Okay, hold on. Oops, no, not on this one because that'll overwrite my deck. Where's the... There it is. Code 601 ECFF. Let's see. Okay. Arc, you should make a deck with a Grim Reaper. I already did. It's the Clockwork Reaper. If you ever see anybody running Grim Reaper and Wind Clockwork, that was me. I apologize. Projection, yeah, Casanova was a blue catcher. It was. Nix, see you are. Good stream. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Okay, so taking a look at this. Immediate reaction is that it is extremely top heavy. We'll come back to this in a second. But it's very, very heavy for, with the Fabricia, Varun Kahan, and Material. Did that not accept? Oh, it did, but we kept that thing up. Whoops. Great, so now... Shoot, I'm not going to get the right deck, am I? Is that the right deck? That looks like it. Let's just go with that. Yes, at first glance it seemed very, very resource heavy at the top end, but I'll take a look at it in greater detail. This is gold in nature. This better not be a gimmick. We don't allow gimmicks around here. Now that's almost certainly an ambush vine. Kalpesh, no sub-battles. Well, we've done a bunch of sub-battles, but people keep challenging me, and I have said that that's, you know, allowed, so... Yep, Ambush Vine, but it'll get switched out. It doesn't get switched out from my Ambush Vine. That is fascinating. I always thought that an Ambush Vine would push another Ambush Vine out of the way. I have a very strong recollection of that happening. Yeah, well, never mind. And an Ambush Vine, which doesn't matter. Everyone's fighting me, yep. Materio alone is powerful. Yes, Materio is a very powerful card. So this is, what, a heavy Ambush Vine, Wanderer Emmy, I assume Nature, Phantom of the Wolf? Hunt comes out the Dark Razor, it's fine, it's already giving me some darkness back. That's going to work out in my favor. Some options here. Oh, we'll level up. More aggro decks. That's fine.
Your turn. No creature left on your battlefield. Defeated opponent's creature.
So what? Well, that's why I asked for help. Not sure what I should replace them with. The idea was to have a good, expensive card in every situation. Yes, I get that. I really get the urge. Unfortunately, that tends not to work so well in Mabinogi Duel. Alright, so we got through the initial aggro surge, so pretty much assume that I'm going to win this now. We're getting way more resources than our opponent is, so let's do this. Just so we get that tasty 7 off. There we go. Evil Bard, they should make a card where if more than 3 or 4 of your creatures dies, it summons your highest creature cost. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Not entirely sure how it would work, but it would be interesting. Okay. That's going to throw a trap out in front of one of them. That's also fine. Good. Now then. Yeah, I kind of don't want my Laughing Marionette to die, but there's not really much choice, so... Oh, okay, because of the little buff there. That was nice. Swat, what exactly do you mean by gimmick decks? Usually it's a deck which has a single win condition. As in, I do this and then I win. And the entire deck is then geared around... oh yes, good job. The entire deck is then geared around getting that one particular card out. So in the case of Lilith, you know, you'd run 2 light card appraisers, let's say, and a dark card appraiser, and then you would run some other stuff. Basically, the entire deck is focused around it. So one single win condition around which the entire deck is built. Generally skillless play. You don't really need to sort of react or anticipate your opponent. You just play the cards, and if you get interrupted in your little checkoff list, you lose. And then the third definition is that good gimmick decks require a dedicated counter in order to beat them. You can't beat a dedicated gimmick deck with like a normal average tempo deck. Okay, so what, like Parnok decks? Yes, like a Parnok deck. Funek, hello. The Wolf, wouldn't someone battling you when you're stream be able to watch your stream and cheat? Yes, and I assume that's what some people do, but it doesn't matter. Evil Bard, also, I said budget and was surprised you used your experiment. I didn't see you say budget. Good game. Yes, good game. Okay, so Sabrosona wants to play against Kengi. So Kengi, if you're still around. Oh, and we're going to take a look at this. So Kengi, let me know in the chat. That way. And then we'll see. All right, Kengi, you changed your mind. About playing Sabrosona or just about something else? Okay, so... Alright, what I would say about this is that this deck is an aggro deck except for the last 3 cards. So, really, I'd lean into that if I were you. Keep Chancellor Varum Kahan because he's an excellent counter to certain gimmicky cards, but consider replacing Princess Fabricia with... a Flame Emission would be my recommendation. And Master Templar Materio with, I don't know, a cheaper finisher. I mean, if you wanted to go for something that had some strength, then Windblade Teon is obviously fine. A more defensive play is Trap in the Castle. That's obviously okay. There's a bunch of them, really. I mean, you could even go a little bit weird with Interfect and Malice if you wanted to go against, if you wanted to work in some anti-gimmick in there. Arena Champion's also fine. A Light Elf would be decent. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of aggro orientated, this deck. So yeah, as I say, I may probably lean into that. You could, if you want to replace Varum and just really lean into the aggro, then go with Nature, Phantom of the Wolf, or Ambush Vine. But yeah, the first 8 cards are aggro cards. Newbie Duelist especially, because he's only good at level 1. What are you saying? Evil Bard also did not cheat. I have one device. I don't know. Kengi, you want the deck to be a surprise. Okay, everyone's confused. Alright, so Saburo, Sona, Elonisama, and wants to challenge Kengi. So, Kengi, if you want to fight Elonisama, let me know. Okay, well, we both show off our tournament. You can show off your tournament decks if you like. This isn't a tournament sub-battle. So, thanks. Yep, no problem. Aggro's pretty good in the current meta. So long as you have a dedicated anti-counter for the standard Lilith gimmicks and the Ultimate Era of Fire, or Ultimate Incarnate of Fire gimmicks and all this kind of nonsense. As long as you have a counter for those, aggro decks work pretty well right now. Using Ambush Vine, Taukaka as a favorite, Newbie Duelist, Phantom of the Wolf / Mermaid, Nature Phantom of the Wolf / Mermaid, and then just sort of lean into the damage. Elonisama doesn't have a tournament deck, so just challenge with normal decks. Okay, so Kengi's going to fight with his tournament deck, and Elonisama is going to fight with a normal deck, apparently. And this will be the last sub-battle, so if anybody wants any decks reviewed, let me know. And if anybody wants to do any final battles against me, let me know. Okay. Evil Bard. Let me guess, it's a Magician deck. If it's Kengi, it's almost certainly going to have Magicians and Taylor Michelle in it. So, both players running no mutants, both players running L. Kengi brings out the Suspicious Peddler. If there had been any mutants in there, I would have said Light Elephant, but there's no mutants. So, Suspicious Peddler. The Magic Missile comes out. That does, of course, force another spell card to be discarded into Elonisama's grave, which is the nice thing about the Suspicious Peddler. It really does prevent people from running or from removing it with spells. Out comes an elephant, immediately answered by a hunt. Elonisama playing a very control-orientated game, Kengi being very aggressive. Kengi charges up rather than playing any more creatures to be countered, and Elonisama, I assume, is about to level up, and there she goes. Kengi will follow suit, of course, no reason not to, and there it goes. Elonisama's turn. Will she continue to play defensive control, or going to go for a little bit more aggro? Goes for a charge, and plays a Black Spirit. Okay, so it's slight aggro play there. Let's see what Kengi does in order to answer that. Surprise attack comes out, so it's an even resource trade for both players. And Kengi plays Magician Masked Field to absolutely nobody's surprise. Elonisama has no light, so there's no easy removal onto the Masked Field with a Holy Missile. So let's see what she decides to go for instead. A vampire onto the Magician Masked Field, which is interesting, because that can still be removed with a hunt at 14 HP. And then an elf as a creature block in front of the assistant Anna. Anna, of course, will kill the elf before the elf manages to kill Anna. Funek, was there a change concerning MD streaming? No, there was an update to the privacy policy and that sort of thing, but I looked over it and it doesn't seem to affect streaming in any way, fortunately. But yeah, they've made a big deal about their the changes to their terms and conditions. I'm not sure why. It's even on like the home page. Still, we'll see. Alright, Kengi goes up to 3. Anna's still left out on the field. A Piole in front of an Anna, and then a level up, I assume, is what's about to happen. There it is, and there it is, yeah. That's the best play. Alright, so both players neck and neck as far as HP is concerned. Nobody's managed to land any blows on anybody else. Skeleton comes out into the center of the field, and Kengi goes for a double charge. Goes into nature, which means he's running a little top heavy on there. His light resources are not as good as they could be. A Magician Masked Field of Elonisama's very own comes out onto the field, and she charges up for the second action. Is she going to counter that skeleton, or just let the 8 damage go through? Just going to charge up and let the 8 damage go through. Now Kengi has light, so could throw out a Holy Missile onto the Magician Masked Field. Or could just go for a standard hunt. And then a creature block. Goes for command hunting, that takes down the Magician. And something for the assistant. Funek, okay, thanks, because there was no live stream last week or the week before. There was live streams last week, I'm pretty sure. Unless, Oh, and Paralyzer Alluring comes out. It may be there wasn't last week, actually. I think I may have been having internet troubles. Yes. So, Paralyzer Alluring comes out, which I remember Kengi saying in the Discord he wasn't a big fan of because she's too, but hey, here he is using her. So, yeah, Paralyzer Alluring, obviously a very good card to have. Out comes the Ice Spear. That's going to drop Paralyzer Alluring's attack value down to 3, which means she's not really much of a threat. And a Paralyzer Alluring of Elenisama's very, very own. So both players running Alluring, both players running Magician Masked Field. I wish I had an Alluring. She's a very good card for just straight up murder. Arrow of Revenge comes out to get that 6 damage off onto Elonisama. Kengi, with only 2 cards left in his hand, though, is going to have to go for a big revive. Evil Bard. Almost everyone will be using Piolet in the tournament. Yes. Now, I would be very surprised if they weren't. Although it has to be said that Piolet is not as valuable in the tournament as he is normally because he's going to be harder to synchronize with certain cards. He's still going to be very, very good, don't get me wrong. But I think players are going to be finding less value, I think, for him. So, both players playing very aggressively here. Elonisama goes for a charge. Really does need to remove that Crusader. But that is a tasty little 14 damage coming out onto Kengi's side. That's going to really hurt. That Crusader absolutely needs to go down, though. So, does Elonisama have the cards? Does not. Just goes for a triple charge. That's quite interesting. Going to let that 8 damage come out. I think that both players are waiting for the other one to revive, is the thing. So, Kengi goes for a charge. Kengi can afford to be a little bit blasé here, because his Crusader is going to do 9 and then rank up to 10 attack on his next turn and deal fatal damage, whereas Elonisama is only going to take Kengi down to 6. Piolet comes out as a block. Amantur's Blue Spell Circle, nice for the last 2 cards there. That's going to work out really nicely for Elonisama. That's going to take care of the what I assume is the last of Kengi's creatures. Down it goes. Okay, so 9, 10, 11, 12. So Elonisama literally only has Hunter Piolet left in their hand. Kengi brings out a Hunter Piolet of his very own as a block. But I still leave Skeleton. Good job, says Kengi. I think he's just sort of acknowledging defeat here. Is he going to charge and acknowledge, or has he got some plan in mind? Because that Piolet is a bit of an odd play. Yeah, he's thinking about it. I mean, yeah, okay, and then he forfeits. Fair enough. Okay, I think that was possibly a misplay by Kengi. So, congratulations to Elonisama for winning, and well played to Kengi. Both players actually were using tournament decks on that one, as far as I'm aware. So, let's see. Ellering Green SE is for 150,000. I believe normal one. Really, may pick her up. Pretty cheap, yes. So what? Well, the tournament is no gimmick, so there's really no harm in just cowering with Piolet, you mean covering, and slowly chimping away your opponent. Chipping, I assume. Chipping away at your opponent. Yes, there's no harm in that. There's no duplicates, though, so control play is going to be a little bit difficult. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Kengi, your fief was correct. Fear, I assume. You may be the winner. Oh, that was the fear, was it? That Elonisama was going to win. Well, it was well played on both players' sides there. Very, very interesting fight. Very, very interesting decks. Nice to see. Nice to see. Okay, so no more sub-battles. No more sub-battles, because we're already a bit over time, really, for this. So if anybody else has any decks that they would like me to review, post the deck code now. If anybody would like to battle me, then send me a battle request very, very quickly. And if anybody has any questions about the upcoming tournament next weekend, let me know. Evil Bard Arc, I will send you my tournament code at Discord later. Please check if it's allowed. Yep, no problem. Also, if there's anything you see that you would suggest a better card. I cannot comment on people's cards. I need to be very clear about this. I will check people's card decks and sideboard cards to make sure that they are tournament ready, so they're not breaking any of the rules, but I cannot give advice. It wouldn't be fair. I'm the tournament host and the organizer, and I see everybody else's deck. So if I start giving people advice, that's gonna put me in a really tricky sort of ethical position. Calpish, I meant in tournament. Oh, right. Yeah, so your fear is that Elonisama is going to beat you in the tournament. She may win the tournament. Could do. I think that's twice now that Elenisama's beaten Kengi, our reigning tournament champion. So it's possible. It's possible. Okay, Swat, have I got the right? Yes, I do. Keyboard going cray-cray. Let's see. Swat 601 ED09. Bart got it. Good. Okay, yeah. I mean, I would like to give people advice. Obviously, I would like to help out as much as I could, but it really wouldn't be ethical for me, since I know what everybody else is running, to give people advice on what cards to pick. That's not okay. All right, so taking a look at it, a Puppeteer Zad Felish aggro style deck. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at this. So 4 in each camp. That's yep. Yeah, Firebolt. You got Command Hunting, Golden Eagle. Seems okay. The Drag to Hell obviously isn't really ideal, but with all those cheap creatures, it's not such a big deal. Yeah, there's nothing in there that I would say obviously needs to be fixed. It's a good deck. It's a good deck. So at this point, it's basically just a question of playing it, finding out what it's weak against, and then changing anything that you feel isn't getting enough playtime, I suppose. Sabrosona, the deck you used. Assassin wants a friend to duel. Okay, let me see if I can... Leaf's got a deck. I'm not sure if that's for review or not. Let's do this. If it is for review, let me know and just post it again immediately after this. Evil Bard, don't worry, Kengi, I will destroy Helenisama for you. So Assassin running no mutants. Interesting. And the Tina hero. Hello. All right. Why did that not work? There we go. Kengi, your control style is awesome. Yes, it's very, very, very professional control style that Sabrosona has. And that's coming, you know, Kengi said that, and Kengi is a big control player. So if Kengi says you're good at control, you're good at control. Liko, did you ask me? Just look at it. Okay, yeah, good. No problem. Just wanted to be sure.
Defeated opponent's creature.
Sabados and I recently started to play the control style. Well, you're damned good at it. Israel, why the sudden jump back to MD from DOS? Simply more people are interested in Mabinogi Duel than Duel of Summoners, is what it basically comes down to. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that because that's not going to work for me anyway.
Defeated opponent's creature.
Yeah, I mean, I like Duel of Summoners. It's technically a better game than Mabinogi Duel, but nobody's playing it. So it's almost impossible to find any fights on it. I was waiting for like 40 minutes at one point, which was just ridiculous. And then secondarily, nobody's that interested in watching it either, which is a shame. But so it goes. What's the price of a Dark Fireball? I haven't seen one recently. I don't know. I don't really play around in the shops very much. That's fine. Evil Bard, unless you and me before I could go against you. Well, yeah, that's also true. Oh, interesting. When summons a Black Cat with level equal to the opponent hero's level, makes friendly Black Cat with level 3 or greater disappear and summons Beast Arms. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Defeated opponent's creature.
I think more people like Arc streams, so they're coming back to MD. I ran a couple of Duel of Summoner streams, and they just weren't as popular as the Mabinogi Duel streams. You just didn't get the same number of viewers. I would like to do more Duel of Summoners. I would like it to become a more popular game than it currently is. I would like to encourage more people to play it. I would like to run tournaments in Duel of Summoners, but there just isn't the interest. Which is sad, but so it goes. I really didn't know about that dancing expert, tracing expert, rather, Christie. I wonder if I have her.
Opponent chose to charge resource.
Oh, right, that's the farthest one creature. I was like, why did that not target the ambush vine? But no, I get it. DOS is a PC game, isn't it? Must be the reason, actually. Yeah, Duel of Summoners is a PC game. I'm sure that is part of the reason. Yeah. Golden Garden Caretaker. All these cards I just don't know. Brings all Golden Garden creatures to the friendly battlefield. If there are no other creatures on the battlefield at the end of the turn, summons a random Golden Garden creature. That's so weird. Alright. Yeah, what the hell happened to Assassin? Yeah. I don't think that really worked out the way they'd expected it to work out. How many does this guy need now? 2 more. I'll try to conserve that, I think. Evil Bar. Without the community here, I would have immediately deleted this game. Yes, a lot of people feel the same way. Calpesh, Duel of Summoners is sadly dead. I waited for 15 minutes, but there was no opponent found to fight. Yeah. Israel PC right now has way too many games to play. Even on mobile, you have Duel Links. Yeah, there's also that too, of course. There's a lot of choice at the moment. Golden Garden Cat, which isn't going to generate its thing. Alright, so we can bring out Zad Felish. That would require a discard. There's nothing we can play anyway, so if we charge and get it, that would be better, which we didn't. So... And... yeah, that works out fine. Golden Garden guy is meant to go against other opponents who use Golden Garden creatures, right? Yes, he is. That's the summoning part. But if there are no other creatures on the battlefield at the end of the turn, summons a random Golden Garden creature. I think Sausin was expecting him to summon a random Golden Garden creature because there's no other creatures on his battlefield. But the description is weird. I think it means if there's literally no other creatures on any battlefield. He's meant as a fun card, I believe, yes. I've been really unlucky with the puppets that the puppeteer is... releasing. He keeps bringing out that one with the with no HP value. I think I'm going to lose literally because of that bloody miss summons. He's meant as a fun card, I believe. Yes, yes. So if there's 2 of them, do they go to the other creature? I really don't know how he works. BRB, getting coffee. Yeah, capture is a good play. I think I'm just going to have to forfeit this, honestly. Zad Felish kept summoning the only marionette that I did not want him to summon. He has a choice of like 3 marionettes, and he kept summoning the same goddamn marionette. So frustrating. But that's the problem with Zad Felish. It's he's kind of fun, but if he summons the wrong thing, then you just... Now, yeah, I don't know how to forfeit. There we go. Israel, do you like that you stream on both streaming platforms? Good, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, I open it up so as many people can view it as possible. It makes life a little bit more difficult for me, but, you know, people like to have the choice, so there we go. Curse you, Zad Felish. But yeah, it's an interesting that Tracing Christie. I'll have to give her a look. Because I ignore Christies unless they're +1 mutants, generally speaking. Because they have always been in the past that they will summon a clue, and then the clue has to evolve and all the rest of it. But if that's no longer the case with the latest Christie... Yeah, okay, so I do actually have her. 4/4/4 at every level. Interesting. Yes, very interesting. What this one? Yes. Alright, so SFN and SFNP both have a summon black cat thing. Interesting. Israel, the +1 mutants are annoying. Well, I can imagine they would be for... I mean, the +1 mutant on Tracing Expert Christie and Animal Lover Christie would be pointless, because their ability doesn't change. But yeah, on somebody like Botanist Christie and all the rest of it, yeah, they can be really annoying. You've got to have you on Twitch too. You prefer Twitch or YouTube? I can go both. I prefer people to be on Twitch, generally speaking. It's a more stable platform, and it means that I can do raffles and things like that on Twitch, but people like YouTube, then they like YouTube. But Jetting, I'm so sorry, Ark. It was such a hard counter for Zod. I never knew. Yeah, your deck was... I mean, your deck was very interesting. A lot of fun. But yeah, turned out to be a hard counter to Zod Felice, which is unfortunate, but so it goes. I mean, no deck is perfect. Every deck has their counters. A gift from Abri. Thank you very much. Do I have any fun decks? Silly little decks. I have this old aggro deck. Man, that's ancient. Leaf back. I'd usually prefer Twitch myself, but everyone's here. Yeah, Israel plus emotes. Yes, plus emotes. I think Twitch is just generally the better streaming platform. But people will go where they want to go. Swat, do you recommend Zad Felice or Magician? Generally speaking, Magician. Magician Masterfield is just the more solid card. It's more problematic for your opponent. The thing is, Zad Felice can provide more pressure, but it relies on your opponent not being able to counter Zad Felice. Whereas Magician Masterfield doesn't really have any counters. You have to remove the Magician before you remove the Ana, which means you have to use 2 actions and 2 cards to remove one of your opponent's cards, which is almost impossible to do for an even resource trade. And even if you do manage to get an even resource trade, you're still using more actions and racking up a higher grave cost than your opponent is. So as a general rule, Magician Masterfield just all the way. That being said, if your opponent doesn't have a good way of countering Zad Felice can absolutely decimate your opponent. Bring them out at level 2. If your opponent has no way of dealing with him, he'll just keep racking up those attack and HP values, and he'll just stomp the opponent. So it's kind of like risk and reward sort of situation. Magician Masterfield provides less battlefield pressure, but is significantly more stable. Zad Felice is less stable, but provides a lot more pressure. But just fun fact, there was also a perfectly fine tournament deck. Yes, true. I think the deck I was running was also a tournament deck, except for the Card Appraiser. Yeah, the deck I was running, apart from the Card Appraiser, was a tournament deck as well. I've only just realised. And it's not like the Card Appraiser really did anything. I am interested in this now, though. Yes. Okay, Clarion's wants a duel. I guess I'll use this ancient pseudo-aggro deck. See how this does. I haven't used this one in over a year. This was one of the last decks I created before I stopped playing the game. So, ha! Let's see how it goes. Kengi's got a deck posted, so we're going second, which isn't ideal. But so a Tarlac hero doesn't seem to have Book of Knowledge unless it's a mutant, in which case it would be his only mutant. Charge, I am a-okay with that. Let's drop this in case he does have a Book of Knowledge. Evil Bard, I use +1 Appraiser in the deck you show, it works fine. Yep, +1 Appraiser is fine. I prefer the normal Appraiser since the +1 Appraiser doesn't tend to give me enough benefit for its resource cost, but it's just a personal thing. Oh. Skeleton of a Wise Man, that's unusual. We'll just remove that. Now that's going to remove his darkness as well, so that's perfect. That gives us a big resource swing. If we level up first, then he'll give us an advantage when he levels up. So I kind of hope he charges, honestly. Hey, good. So we'll level up. Tarlak's ability can't activate, but it'll activate for us when Clarion's levels up. I mean, I like Tarlak's sort of looks. I like his speech bubble things. His ability is useless. Alright, let's go a bit more aggro with this. I've been playing it kind of tempo, but that's not a good idea. How much more for this? 3 more for Bluesy. Yeah, we couldn't use Tarlak. Tarlak, who couldn't use Taukaka? He's got Tarlak, it's fine. Bullfighter! I do like Bullfighter. Now that's interesting. You should never play Bullfighter in the middle. Always play Bullfighter on the edges. Yeah. Yes, not what I would have recommended, but okay. So let's do this. And do we want to go... It's like, do we want to go aggro? Yeah, of course we want to go aggro. It's an aggro deck. Leak, it's only good in PvG when your opponent has it. Ha! Yes. Yeah. I miss Rookie Arena, I really do. I used to enjoy just sort of saying, hey, you know, I have some time to myself, blah de blah. Hey, out comes our hidden spider. Which is supercharged by our Phantom and the Wolf. Ha ha! This really shouldn't amuse me as much as it does. Alright, well played to our opponent. Good job. Leek, I was talking about Tarlak, by the way. Ah, I see. Did I not kill him? Why didn't I kill him? Oh, because the Barbarian's paralyzed. Doesn't matter anyway. I mean, we've won. It's 3 HP to 37, and I have an Arrow of Revenge. And Spider comes right back out and supercharged again by the Phantom of the Wolf. Woo! That Phantom of the Wolf has survived a lot longer than I'd expected it to. Alright, so sportsman-like triple charge finish. Good job, Elephant. Well done. And well played to Clarions. Good play. Good play. Yeah, it's good to know that that aggro deck still works out fairly well. Alright, and Kengi posted a deck, so we'll take a quick look at that. And I think we got, yeah, 5,000 gold. Oh my goodness. With this, I can buy nothing. Not even at a 0 cost. But I'm a bum. I wish there was some longer quest lines or missions in this game. Yes, it would be nice to have some PvG stuff to do on a daily basis, but apparently they don't want that. Israel, you should make a wolf and a mermaid deck. The Wolf and the Mermaid. Yes. Sounds like a Hans Christian Andersen story. Leek, I also posted code twice, but ignore it if you want. Fair enough. Let me... the problem is the chat just goes past it because you posted it while I was fighting. So I'll take a look at it, but post it again because otherwise, because I can't see it and it's been buried. I'll take a look at Kengi's and then I'll take a look at Leek's. So that was that. Zad for Leash. Find a deck. There was Kengi's thing. There it was. 601 ED. Oops. ED0F. Okay. Save. Mud Hero Dross. I love it already. Using the Animal Lover Christie. Lovely. Yeah, looks good to me. Cocoon Trap to synchronize with the Goblin Shredder. The Ambush Vine to push some of these low-cost aggro creatures out of the way. The Animal Lover Christie to summon an extra character. Mud Hero Dross, which might interrupt some of these other little guys, but can also combo off the Fiery Zealot if you want to detonate his ability and kill the guys in front. Removal spells, removal spells, removal spells, and AoE. So, of course, it's a good deck. Sabrosona. 601 ED08. Save and overwrite and share. Oh, is this the deck that you were using against Kengi? Yes, it's a very solid deck. I mean, frankly, even though it's a tournament-ready deck, it would also work perfectly well as is in the actual arenas. I mean, it's just a good deck. This would work fine in monthly. And Leech. 601 ED07. Save and overwrite and share. Okay, capture. Yeah, aha, the Gumiho. I see. All right, so it's an interesting one. Hero's Command for fun. Gumiho, Mana Xena, and Bisky Mino +1 along with the Dark Capture and various bits and pieces. Yeah, I mean, look, it seems fine to me. I would argue that the Xena's probably not a great option. Makes it a little top heavy, and Xena's value has always been kind of middle of the road. And now, of course, people just use Lilith instead. But, I mean, if you're getting value of Xena, then keep her in. It's just, I wouldn't have said that was the best possible choice. And of course, Hero's Command, you know, keep it in if you find that you're coming up against guy like other Gumihos that you have no other way of removing, but Surprise Attack just generally is the better option there. Leech. Xena's just great for PvG, so yes, Xena's phenomenal in PvG, absolutely great in PvG, but in PvP she's always going to be middle of the road. Sabrosona, I played in normal duels and I end with a fantastic 3 wins, 11 losses. Fair enough. Well, to be fair, I mean, if you're up pretty high in the arenas and stuff, you're going to be going up against gimmick decks, in which case you need to run anti-gimmicks. Leech, I refuse to use Lilith. I tried once, it was too easy. Yes, good for you. Yeah, she's a skillless card, unfortunately. She has way, way, way too much battlefield presence. I mean, if her ability was just hypnotizes everybody when she lands, then that would still be extremely powerful. But her whole hypnotize creatures when she lands, and kill one of the hypnotized creatures, and turns one of your other friendly creatures into Lilith when Lilith dies. It's like, this is just too much. That's just stupid. Why would one card have all these powerful abilities and literally no downsides? I mean, Jesus Christ. Even the Warlords were given, like, big nerfs and downsides to them. I don't know why Lilith has been left alone. Buff the Warlords is my point. Kengi, I was running that deck, tournament deck, in monthly. Win rate was 16-1, and now it's 16-2. Yeah. Well, good decks. Good decks. But, yes. Now you've got an extra loss in there, thanks to Eleni Sama. You will have to break your kneecaps or something. I don't know. Okay, so let's wrap up there. Leek, it's also got 2 good stats. Yes, that's also another point. Yeah, it's got good stats. You know, I mean, just by herself on the field, she puts out enough battlefield pressure that you kind of feel like you have to answer her. You can't just ignore the damage she's throwing out. So yeah, Lilith, blech. Too powerful. Don't know why they haven't nerfed her yet. Whatever. Buff the Warlords. Woo, Warlords. Alright, so before we finish up, just quickly go over the tournament again. There will be a tournament next weekend, 21st and 22nd of this month. It will start at 1 PM UTC, same time as all these live streams do. So if you're participating, obviously join in with that. But if not, stop by and take a look. For everybody who is participating in the tournament, I will be putting up a sort of an adjusted rules set right after this live stream is finished. And please remember that you have to submit your decks to me by Wednesday of next week at the absolute latest. That's Wednesday the 18th at the absolute latest. Now you can submit decks and then change your mind and resubmit as many times as you like. That's fine. But Wednesday is the cutoff date. After Wednesday, you will not be allowed to change your decks. So Get it right. Okay, Leek CPRMX has Light Elf for 70,000. Be fast, or be funky. So yes, be quick, everyone, for that one. That's a good value for Light Elf's a really nice card. Yes, I think that's everything for everybody who doesn't know about the Discord, but who wants to get involved in tournaments or just voting for various games and things that are going to be we're going to be playing on these live streams and stuff. I've just posted the Discord link down below, so get involved in that to find out more about the tournaments, to vote for what games I play in live streams, or just to chat. It's all good. Evil Bar, Queen Lilith, I hate that she can't die when there's other creatures on her battlefield. Yeah, she has too many positive abilities and literally no negative abilities. I mean, again, the warlords have like 2 positive abilities and 1 negative. The negative is that they have to be standing next to each other. Well, 2 negatives. A, they have to be standing next to each other, and B, it has to happen at the beginning of your following turn. So they have 2 negatives and 2 positives. And Lilith has 3 positives and 0 negatives. There's no downside to using Lilith. It's annoying. Anyway. I mean, play what you want to play. If you're having fun, then you're doing it right. But just be aware that if you run Lilith, all right-minded people hate you. All right, we'll wrap up there. Next live stream will be Israel Capture Betrayal. Oh, you mean on Lilith? I mean, generally, by the time Lilith has been played, it's already too late. You've lost. All your creatures are hypnotized. She's already transformed. There's another creature on the field. Capturing Lilith doesn't really help because her ability doesn't continue to activate. So she's already done her damage. You've captured her, but she's not helping you at any point. So, yeah, I mean, if you then kill her, then one of your hypnotized creatures might transform, but at that point it just gets really awkwardly tricky. There's no just easy answer to Lilith. The best you've got is like a free summon or a cocoon trap, something like that, but all the good Lilith players anticipate that, so they'll drop a share as soon as they see you discard into green or into blue, and then the share will trigger the trap, and then they play Lilith, and it's like nothing ever happened anyway. She's annoying. She's not unbeatable. I have beaten a lot of Lilith deck users, but she's just irritatingly powerful. She's been meta-defining for a year now, and it really is time that she was knocked off her throne. Evil Bar, she's basically an AoE with attack. She's an unblockable, non-damage dealing, untargeted AoE that hangs around afterwards. Seversona, when I play against Lilith Nerva, I love when they have a supercharged Nerva. I play Summon Dead, and the Lilith kills her Nerva. Yeah, that's always fun as well. I mean, there are like if you're running an anti-gimmick deck, then obviously Lilith is easy enough to counter. You run Summon Dead, you run Devil's Lie, you know, so on and so forth. Seeker Prowls, all this kind of stuff. But against normal decks, it's just ugh. I hate that you have to run an anti-gimmick deck as your primary deck. It's just annoying. Anyway, if you want a more balanced experience, go play Duel of Summoners, but play it against friends, because you're just not going to find anybody to play against in the standard arenas or in the friendly battles and things like that. There's just nobody playing, which is very sad. Anyway, we're going to stop there. So I'm going to jump into the Discord. I'm going to write up the new tournament rule set. So if you're participating in the tournament, make sure you read those very, very carefully before you start creating your decks. To everybody else, hopefully I'll see you in the Discord just for chatting and various game conversations and things like that. Failing that, there will be another live stream on Monday, 1 PM UTC, same as today, and Mabinogi Duel as well. So, hopefully see all of you guys there. Thanks for stopping by. As always, a special thank you to everybody who participated in the sub-battles, and to everybody who fought me, except for the people who beat me, because I hate you forever now. I'll see you guys around. So, bye-bye from me. Bye-bye from Samurai Quack. Be good and have fun.